Welcome to the Movie Draft Podcast. I am Ethan Simi, and today I am joined by my wonderful co-host, Ben Lawhorn.
Hello.
And our two wonderful guests. First up is Cameron Ritter.
What's going on?
And next is Danny Jarabek.
I feel like I've seen you so much recently, Ethan. I'm just over the moon to be here once again.
I'm inundating your ears and eyeballs in every platform possible these days. And today
invites me to TikTok lives daily at this point.
Nice.
Let's be very clear. Didn't invite you to anything, but you and my wife were both watching my live, commenting thoughts on Backrooms, which we will talk about on this pod, while my wife was downstairs. And as soon as I stopped recording the live, I went, you and Danny really teamed up on me there, huh? Nonetheless, we are drafting A24 movies in a collaborative style draft today on this podcast. You may be asking yourself, haven't you already done an A24 collab draft? We have sort of done an A24 collab draft. A long time ago, we did an A24 horror collab draft where we kept it exclusively to A24 horror movies. Today, we're opening the gates to the wide realm of A24 in celebration of their new and most successful little asterisk there, because by the time this pod comes out, I'm sure it will be the most successful financially A24 movie, Backrooms, which we will briefly talk about in a spoiler-free fashion because Ben has not seen this movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry. You don't have to skip ahead to the draft right now. But before we start, Ben, what's up, dude? How are you?
If I remember correctly, that A24 horror draft went flawlessly, right? Like nothing crazy happened.
Oh, I'm positive it did. There's zero chance that anything got fucked up.
That's how collab drafts tend to go, right?
Yeah, I think they're pretty chill. They're pretty chill for the most part. I'm
gonna find it. Yeah. We've done an A24 auction on here as well, which was open to the whole slate. But I'm gonna scrub and I'm gonna find this while you tell us how you are.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited for this draft. I'm bummed I wasn't able to see Backrooms yet, but I'm excited to hear you guys talk about it. I'm a fan of what I've seen on the YouTube series, so I can only imagine how that translated to the movie itself. But yeah, I'm always down to talk A24, as you all know, Ethan, as ex-host of an A24 podcast that we are.
This is true. You and I, both ex-hosts of the 24 Minutes of A24, a misnomer, if you will, because I think we only ever did one episode that was 24 minutes, and then every episode after that, not so much. We did the A24 horror collaborative draft was episode 42. We are currently sitting at episode 126. So that was about 78 episodes ago. Yeah. Do you guys want to know how that went, or should I save that right before we draft? Because I feel like it's beneficial to know.
Let's do it right before the draft.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
But that's a good teaser right before.
Yeah. It's completely sane, as Ben so eloquently put it. There's nothing weird about that draft at all. Cameron, what's up? This is your first time being back on the pod since the 2020 movie draft, which you and I both lost to Danny over here, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was my first competitive draft. I'm back here just collabing with the boys, which is a great time as always. But no, that was good fun. I had a great time. Loved chatting with Daniel as well. So I'm just excited to be here, and yeah, I think that this has just led me to remember how many movies A24 actually has under its belt, and it's not just the horror stuff. Like I feel like people in my circles are also always like, oh, it's a horror trailer that's got the A24 logo slapped on it. So that's great. That's what A24 does, but they do a lot more. So I'm excited to get into that conversation.
Yeah, they do a whole lot more. And I'm curious how deep we're going to get in the A24 bag here today, because we are collaboratively drafting 16 movies, which I think will be really, really interesting to see what ends up maybe in the bottom 5, because it's kind of a little bit of a free-for-all zone. But yeah, Cameron, I guess I kind of want to apologize. I feel like I only have you on here for collab drafts, and I don't know what that means. But you should take it as a... Oh, you have theory. Okay.
Well, I used to do, this is very random. I don't know why this popped in my head, but I did choir in high school and college, and I often thought that I blended well with other voices and often wasn't going to be competing for solos. And so I think the ultimate glue guy of entertainment.
glue
So here we
guy.
I
are.
like it.
That's
the
an
glue guy.
incredible poll.
A
Yeah, that
lot
is
of times the glue
100%.
guy is made fun of, but I take it as a source of pride.
Dude, the
Mhm.
glue guy wins championships. The
See,
glue
that's
guy-
that's my thought is like you're a threat to Ethan. Like if you were in a competitive draft,
Oh, yes.
you would win, and that would
Right.
just be
I
another
think
loss for him.
the competitive draft that I had, the only vote that I received was myself, because I dropped the empty man, and I had one friend out there, Sophie, that was like, "You are cooking here," and
There were
Hell
some
yeah.
people that
That's all I
chimed in
want.
and they were like, put some respect on the empty man. And so
Okay.
they're out there. The people are
And-
out there.
and neither of you have seen it still. I see. I'm sure, but maybe one day.
No comment on that one. A lot of movies out there. Danny, as I mentioned, you did win at the 2020 movie draft, but more recently than that, you lost the Space Movies Auction draft, which I also lost by 1 vote, mind you, to the reigning queen of the movie draft pod, of course, Sophie Holsinger. How are you handling the loss, man?
I mean, let's be honest. None of us were going to beat Sophie. You put
Right.
in a valiant effort. I came in dead last, which I was not expecting. I thought third minimum.
Yeah,
that
you
draft.
I'm dead last is putting it kindly. Very
Oh.
far last. Yeah,
Oh.
very far last.
That's a hard
Everybody
pill to
got
swallow.
double digit votes except you. Sorry, brother.
Oh.
That's all I'll say about that.
Hey, top
Or
4.
my
Danny.
movie's not
top
space
4.
enough. Top 4. That's right.
You killed it. That's great.
we did have a lot of feedback, and this is something that I struck up some conversations with people about what qualified as space, because we talked about Avatar so lovingly on that draft and how if Avatar was in fact a space movie because it takes place on another planet, and a lot of people gave the feedback that just because it happens on a different planet doesn't necessarily make it a space movie because Earth is technically a planet within space. And I hear you out there, and I say, I don't care. If it's off Earth, it's space. And if there's spaceships, it's space. And I feel like we kind of tackle that by me drafting or trying to draft Arrival, I guess. I'm remembering that I
Again,
didn't
you
get it at this point
Once
in time.
again, think you hallucinate that you drafted Arrival. You did this.
I literally
mid-pod.
was looking at the teams and I was like, where's Arrival? It's not on my team. What the hell? Tough beat for me. The second place on the space movies draft. But we're not here to draft space movies. Well, maybe we are, because A24 does have some space movies under their belt. They're out there, but we are more importantly here to talk about A24 as a distribution company, as a production company. And I think it's important to note right off the top, we are all very astute movie watchers. We all are very, very smart at the passion that we love. But some people think that A24 is a studio or as a filmmaker. They are technically a studio. They're not a filmmaker, guys. So that's just like not how it works. So I know that Twitter and Instagram love to play around with this a lot. And while funny, also just like not for me. So A24 has a lot of different movies by a lot of different filmmakers. Ben, we've talked about A24 at length on our other podcast for many years. And I am curious now, removed from the weeds of A24 that we used to be in every single week.
Yeah.
What's your current stance on the current state of A24, especially looking at the things they've come out with recently this year, maybe their last awards campaign? How are things faring for A24 as a whole?
I mean, I think they're going okay. I mean, as judged by the success of Backrooms and stuff like that, like I think they're doing fine. I don't feel as tapped in as I was for sure. I think I've just had some bad movie going experiences, and so it's kind of like kept me out of the theater for a while, unfortunately. But I don't know. They've got some good stuff. I think they're good, kind of for the industry in the sense that like it kind of sparks competition, I guess, of sorts. Like A24 may not, be the filmmakers themselves, but there's something about them that I think people would love to be distributed by them. So I think if anything else, it just provides some good competition with other studios and distributors. So I don't know. It's also such a vast library here that we're going to go over. I'm curious how far back we're going to dig into it. But yeah, I don't know. I think this will be fun.
Yeah, I am curious. I mean, I don't have a count. Danny, you provided a great list to us in our group chat. Do you have a count on A24 produced films at this moment in time?
I provided the list through searching A24 on Letterboxd, so I can't say I can't claim a whole lot of credit. I cloned the list, and I think
Okay.
Cameron cloned it as well.
Same here,
Put in some
brother.
work.
According to this list, which we have debated off air about some potential inclusions that may or may not count in this,
Right.
including things that are like guaranteed for this year that have not yet released.
Mhm.
205.
Damn.
205. Okay. That's a lot of movies. 205. I am curious as we kind of do this kickoff question. Do you guys keep track of how many A24 movies you've seen? Like, I have a list of A24 ranked on my Letterboxd. Do you guys have a number of how many A24 movies that you have seen personally?
I didn't until I was invited to be on this pod, and so now I have cloned this list, and so now I can see the stats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So until that, like, there were definitely some. I think I tried to keep track of like the horror stuff, but not
Yeah.
as much. And I'm glad that I didn't, because I would have been sorely mistaken on a lot of these movies that I didn't. So there are some that we can debate about whether they're actually whatever, but there are some that I just straight up didn't know were A24, and so my numbers would have just been off the whole time anyway. So, but no, I mean, I've never kept track. Right now we're at 47%, which I'm not sure the listener wants to hear in terms of expertise, but that's where we're sitting. I'm just coming from a place of honesty here.
200 and change, right, Danny? 200 and what? 7?
205 is what he's
Yeah,
Five.
if you take out the unreleased, you're more or less looking at 200 even.
Okay, 200. And you said 47%, Cam.
This list says I'm at 95 of 198.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. That's pretty good. 195. Ben, do you know how many you've seen total for A24?
No, I haven't kept track of my A24 watches, but
Okay.
at least
be
however
curious.
many episodes we had on 24 minutes of A24, I've seen at least that many.
That's true. Okay. I'll save my number for when I speak. Cameron, what about you? Good current state of A24? Feeling good about their slate? Worried about them? Where are you at?
I wouldn't say that I'm worried about them, but I am interested to see as they kind of go from this smaller studio that kind of is more just doing producing. They are also getting into buying things out of festivals and buying productions that have already been made instead of just throwing money at these filmmakers to make something really cool. So I'm interested to see. I think I was a little dubious at first, but I think that whether you like the movies or not, they are having success with stuff. I mean, Materialists. I mean, all of their new. I think most of their newer stuff is what's going to comprise that top 5 most successful movies, at least at the box office for them. So I think that they're stepping out of a zone that a lot of people know them for. And I think that I had a conversation the other day with somebody who was talking about how it seems like Neon is eating A24's lunch in terms of horror movies, but I don't know if that is as much of their, like, it's always going to be part of most movie studios' strategy to have some horror movies. And so, like, that's not to say that they're ever going to go away from it, but they are just expanding. And I think it's working for them. And so people are not associating them with being the kings of horror maybe right now. And they might be attaching to Neon. But I do think that they're in a really interesting space in their journey. And I've loved all of the weird and even not so weird, but maybe a little bit divisive stuff. I mean, just looking at I just filtered by my highest ranked, and there's a lot of more recent stuff compared to their older stuff. So I'm excited about what they've got going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because we'll talk about Backrooms here in a second, which at time of recording is the second highest grossing domestic earner for A24 already, which is like absolutely crazy, and has broken all kinds of records for them specifically. I'm looking at their slate for the rest of the year. Cameron, you talk about acquisitions and getting into more production and things. Like, they acquired the Invite out of Sundance, and they did. I think they only walked away from Cannes with one acquisition. Is that correct, Danny? Club Kid, they ended up picking up.
There was something else, I'm pretty sure. If you give me like 30 seconds to.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, did you manage to see Club Kid?
I did see Club Kid.
Okay.
I can speak to that very briefly if you wish, but I think that this is not at all the last we're going to be talking about Club Kid this year. I think it's going to be
Mhm.
an absolute priority for them moving
Interesting.
forward. I think that's going to be a legitimate awards contender. I think Jordan Firstman's gonna be competing for an Oscar nomination for sure.
Okay. You heard it. You heard it here first. This is the future of A24. And when the award season rolls around, yeah, I think it's interesting because the reason I wanted to bring that up is because then you have Club Kid, which is undated right now for 2026. I can only assume will be a late November, December release. Going up against things like Primetime and Alex Garland's Elden Ring coming out in March of 2028, which I know is a couple years away, but A24 really diversifying their future strategy, I feel like, which is really an interesting spot for them to be in as a distribution company. Danny, where are you at on A24 right now? How are you feeling about them as a whole?
Yeah, I've seen according to this list and the stats provided, and as of a half an hour ago,
Yeah. Okay.
111,
Okay.
111 of the 205. So sitting at 53%,
Damn.
halfway through the catalog there. But I I find A24 to be one of the most compelling case studies in just like the business of film over the last now 14 years of their existence, how much the film industry has changed in those 14 years and how much that they have grown to be a really intrinsic part of that. I think one of my favorite things I've ever written was the summer of everything everywhere all at once when had just
Mm,
broken out onto the scene, and A24 was sort of at this inflection point as a company where they had injected outside capital, $250 million plus for the first time in their
yep.
history. They were exploring a sale to Apple at the time after being valued at, I think it was over like $2 billion or something, and they ultimately declined to do that. And so my kind of thesis with this article was like, this is a make or break point for them. They need to kind of like become a major studio that's going to compete for major Oscars right now with the buzz and potential that
Yeah.
they have with everything everywhere all at once, or this decision to inject capital and not sell at a peak moment could be a really negative turning point for them as a company.
Mm,
And then obviously they go on to win almost every above the line Oscar. So I just think I find them fascinating as like an object of study, how much that they have changed and evolved and become incredibly specialized in a unique way. The merchandising, the social media presence, them as a media company as much as a distribution company is what has sort of helped them rise in this meteoric way in such a short period of time to almost like major motion studio level in a
mhm.
way. And I think they're kind of almost in a way at another one of those inflection points right now where they have, to the points made earlier, started to move away from just purely kind of visionary character work from up and coming emerging directors toward bigger purchase acquisitions, more commercial properties, things that have wider audiences that do
Yep.
better or seemingly could do better at the box office, right? And so I think they're at another inflection point, but that's all to say that I'm fascinated by them. I have been for pretty much the entirety of their existence, and I'm excited to continue seeing how they evolve.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, and this will be my kind of my input to this conversation is that it's something that Ben and I talked about a lot on 24 Minutes of A24, that they as a production and distribution company have found like a handful of their guys that they have remained really like front facing in pretty much everything that they're doing. I just mentioned Elden Ring by Alex Garland, who is one of their guys that they basically give a blank check to, and they say we'll make your movie. Like we'll support you and you're going to be on our stable. Ari Aster obviously is making everything through A24. Robert Eggers was doing it there for a while. And I made a short video about this, but I wonder if Kane Parsons is going to be one of those guys as well that A24 sees a hearty future in, saying you really align with our model and our energy, and we want to basically cultivate what the future of your filmmaking career looks like. So I am really fascinated by them for those reasons. At right now, I've seen 129 A24 movies. So I think I'm leading the
Ooh,
reins here on the amount that
Nice.
I've seen.
damn, Bob.
some of those are really, really bad. And a lot of them are really, really good. So, you kind of pick your poison, unfortunately. Ben and I went through a couple of rough patches there on the pod, but we were putting in the work for A24. And again, we're here to do it again and put in the work for A24. I want to take like 2 seconds real fast to talk about Backrooms. Can we do Backrooms in a spoiler-free environment for just a minute?
Oh yeah,
Danny and I have multiple hours of spoiler-free discussion yesterday, so we can definitely do that.
Okay, yeah, I love it. So I want to talk about Backrooms as a whole, and then I want to ask a question if we think Ben will like Backrooms based on what we know about the movie and what we know about Ben's movie taste. And I think this will be a fun little game to play. So, Cam, do you want to give us like your 60-second Backrooms spoiler-free review? Did you like it, not like it, strengths, weaknesses, whatever you want?
Yeah, so I saw it on Friday. I liked it for the first hour a lot.
Okay.
And then it kind of has a plot, and then I was like, what is this? But no, to be honest, talking about it yesterday for so long with Danny and Jacob over at the Rolling Tape helped me like it a lot more, and I'm gonna have another conversation about it tomorrow. But no, I do think that it is a fascinating just a fascinating thing to come from just the internet, and like that they would give him, what was the budget, like $10 million to do this.
Yeah.
And I do think that it is, I talked a little bit yesterday about how I was not particularly scared. It's not this is not a concept that scares me, this liminal space aspect, but I wasn't,
really?
I was pretty fascinated. I compared it a little bit to Skinamarink, where like me personally, like I actually do have I'm like lying awake in bed and I'm staring at the wall, and like I do think that there's something there, and so that kind of actually scares me. And so this is a little bit less of that. But no, I thought it was very interesting. I think Chiwetel Ejiofor, let's hope I got that one right. I think I think that he is really, really good in the movie, and I think that it has a lot more depth to it than I initially thought. So I think just more talking, more discussion with it. Like I think Obsession is one where kind of right out of the gate I really, really liked, and has a lot going for it upon a first watch. And I think Backrooms is something I had never seen. I know this is going longer than 60 seconds, but I had never seen the original video before
me neither.
watching the movie. And so I wasn't as informed or whatever. I went in pretty blind, and so there's a lot more to explore. And so no, yeah, I think it's cool, and I think I'm going to enjoy it more as I talk more about it. And I think Ben will not like it. I don't know. I'm probably
crazy wild slip in there at the very end.
I'm probably the least qualified to make that call, but that's my guess.
Perfect.
Okay. So we have one for Ben will not like. I feel like from what I know, Danny, you and I are pretty aligned on our thoughts and feelings on Backrooms. So I'm curious to hear if I can confirm that real fast on where you're at with this movie.
Yeah, like Cameron said, we talked about it at length yesterday, and I think going into that conversation, I wasn't sure where we were going to go, and the path started to like fork in a couple of different directions, and my thoughts and feelings became a lot more clear by the end of it. I am, first of all, liminal space and this idea of Backrooms that's embraced by both like the original video and other movies like Skinamarink and other things like that is just something that I love. Like this totally just works for me conceptually. And so I also had watched the original video. I was sort of familiar with the internet lore and the 4chan and the Reddit of it all and how that world building evolved online. So I had a little bit of a background in what Backrooms was and what it meant. And I think that there are things about the movie that serve that world building really well. And then there are also things about it that are that are contradictory to it. And I think that's where I'm struggling the most, is that because it's like become this feature film, it almost acts as like a definitive canon of how Backrooms works, what people's perception of it is inside and outside of the world. And I think that is inherently in conflict with what makes Backrooms special as a thing, which is that it was
Hmm.
built on an open source canon by hundreds of thousands of anonymous users who literally just talked about it online, and it built out this world. And so when you like bring that together into like one thing, it feels like it's almost antagonistic to what made it special to begin with, in a way. And so when it starts answering questions that the internet lore of it all has different viewpoints on, it feels like you're solidifying something that shouldn't be solidified.
Right.
And that's where I think I feel the most in conflict with it. There's some heavy-handedness to the plot at times that I think gets in the way. But to Cameron's point, I found more and more in it, more layers of depth as we began to like talk about it more. And I haven't been able to get it off my mind. I've been thinking about it pretty much nonstop over the last couple of days, which is a sign of something at least interesting to talk about.
I couldn't sleep last night because I was not because I was scaredy cat boy,
No,
but because
same.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just crazy because I had some other stuff that I probably should have been thinking about if I was going to stay up and think. But I was thinking about Backrooms.
Backrooms most important thing. Yeah, it's interesting. It's made $118 million worldwide already, like you guys said, on a budget of 10 million. So A24 is in a great spot with this movie. I am curious what they do with the future of this idea and the future of this world, because it is a liminal space. It is kind of continuously explorable. So I'm curious about that. I very much aligned with you guys. I liked this movie. I think the script is really weak, and you can really tell it's written by a 20-year-old, which is a little bit of a bummer. But I can't stop thinking about this movie, and I don't really know what that means. I don't know if that's like hey, this movie's very successful because it like wormed into my brain, or like Backrooms are just cool. Like, I don't know where I fall on that.
It's a little bit of both, I think.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think I'm like kind of in the middle ultimately. But I think what Backrooms is what is so fascinating about this is I've been seeing a lot of great conversation about this movie, and a lot of it is really insightful. There's a lot of great reviews out there. I think Adam Naiman wrote a great review for The Ringer, if you haven't read that piece yet. But I've noticed that this is a movie aimed at the people who did grow up with the YouTube series, which was not me. And I did not watch this, and I don't have the lore and all of these things. So I understand that. But it seems like people are picking up on like really explicit plot points and confusing them with like Easter eggs. Sometimes people do things for reasons in movies, and we see that in Backrooms. That's not an Easter egg. That's just something that happens. And so I find that conversation fascinating because I think Obsession falls kind of within a Venn diagram of that as well. Danny, did you say if you think Ben's gonna like this movie or not?
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think Ben's gonna like this movie either. So we're three no likes.
Interesting.
Ben, how do you feel about that?
The only
I mean, as a
criteria I'm
fan of
basing
like
this
the,
on
I'm a fan
is-
of these web series, so but
Okay.
I guess I will just see how it
Oh.
transfers, because that's
Yeah.
that at the longest I think that is like a 9-minute episode. It's not a feature length film, so
Sure.
there's definitely room for it to fall off. So
I mean, I think it's important to note Renata Reinsby's character is ultimately a major character in this. And I know, movies surrounding women, we got to, kind of be a little bit careful, Ben. So I just want to prepare you.
no thanks.
You just, and she's a therapist. So really it's a twofer.
Who needs therapy?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I think there's
not
so
Clark,
much to chew
that's
on.
for sure.
Yeah, not Clark. He's good. I think there's a lot to chew on with Backrooms, and I want to see it again. I kind of want to see it again. And
Dude,
look,
so do I.
I'm gonna buy it when A24 announces the physical disc. So what are you gonna do? This is the life that we live. On to bigger and better A24 projects, because we're here to talk about and rank collaboratively ? 16 A24 projects. Well, What's important here, guys? What are we doing? Are we doing an A24 Mount Rushmore? Are we doing most populist? Are we doing most important? Are we doing I think Danny brings up a good point, right? Like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Huge keystone for A24. Is that important to us? What are we gunning for here collaboratively?
This is something I've been thinking about a lot. Do we need to be
Yeah.
like representative of their
as a brand?
What people
Yeah.
associate with them as a brand, or am I just filter by my highest ranking and I'm trying to get as many as of those top boys in this
That's
list
why
as
I'm
possible?
asking. I don't know.
I've just been wondering what you all think about that. I mean, that's kind of been my debate as well.
I've asked the same question of my strategy, and as we've already talked about, there are 205 films. I've read a handful of lists, skimmed through them. Every single one is different. There is there are so many movies.
No
There's such a
consensus,
wide breadth. There's just no consensus. And so I think that there are some that probably deserve, regardless of the list maker, a high-ish spot just based on the what it did for A24 and what it accomplished outside the movie itself, right? But at the same time, part of me is like, there are 100 million A24 lists out there. If you want just the most important ones, you can find that. So we have 4 people here who all have our taste of what we like from their catalog. Why not just use that right now?
Yeah. I think what I'm most curious about, I just feel a little bit because you and I podcast about A24 for so long.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a general consensus about how you feel about a lot of these A24 projects. So going into this, I am initially strategically, and I know I'm jumping the shark a little bit here, but like I'm going for a little bit of defense. I'm like, okay, what do I have to put on this list that I know Ben doesn't like? And how can I strategically play that? Because I need him on the list personally. So to what you were saying, Cameron and Danny, like we all have our own individual tastes. I know that Ben and I diverge on some very key films in my A24 catalog.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to make that right here on this list? I don't know. I got to figure that out, and we have to walk this together. So I think there is a sweet spot, and I think we have so many movies to choose from. We're going to have a great kind of array of what's out there and what's possible. Ben, how are you?
I'm just here.
Because I feel like I just personally attacked you. So how are you feeling about your strategies going into this?
I feel fine. I'm here to get Death of a Unicorn to number 1. So that's all I'm like set out to do here. So
okay.
we need Paul right at the top, right?
I wouldn't even be mad at that.
I would never talk about A24 again. I think is probably where I'd stand.
Would you prefer The Whale? Should I get The Whale to number 1?
Yeah, you know what? Now we're thinking. Should we do an upside down A24 collaborative draft one day? Maybe that's the next collab draft we do. An
The
upside down
16?
A24, the bottom 16.
Now
That's more interesting.
What's crazy is that there are some that I would put on that I know you would put on this one. So
Oh shit! Okay.
See, exactly.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Sadly,
Right. I know. I'm pretty positive I know what you're talking about as well.
Can I make a brief confession?
Please.
I thought that Alex Garland's Men was an A24 film, not found on this list that I'm seeing on Letterboxd. Not that it would have
definitely an A24 film. 100%.
I looked it up.
A Weekend Away. That's an A24 film if there ever was one.
Men distributed by Entertainment Film Distributors
in North America.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I was so confused for a second.
Okay, well, I can't search and find Men on their Wikipedia page because there's 105 instances.
You just
maybe I should. Can I find and search women?
Men
7.
movie is what I would do personally. I always forget that
500 to 7.
I'm so Wikipedia brained. I never actually use Letterboxd for what it's used for, and people make fun of me for it. So that got me in trouble in the last pod.
Why,
so I need to start
why did you even bring up Men? Was this in association with the Upside Down draft or this draft? Because there's a right answer and a wrong answer.
He was losing
I think it's-
sleep, not knowing if he could put men on the list or not.
Exactly, my brother.
No,
You
I
got
think
it.
I think when I was first asked to be on here, I think I just made a quip via text
Okay.
about men, and that's all I was. And now I'm just bringing that full circle to be like, is
Yeah,
there
yeah.
actually a part of
Okay.
this? But
Well,
anyway, we can move on now.
might not be the last time we talk about Alex Garland's men here on the pod. Who's to say,
I-
really?
Probably should be.
I'll be honest and say I hope it is.
Oh my god, you guys can go to hell.
There are
okay,
three
so-
other Garlands that I would put on here. Maybe.
Well, let's see what pops up on the list. So we're gonna be doing 16 A24 movies here. Strategy, whatever it is, if it's to get your movies on the board, play defense against Ben, or cause chaos, or actually do a collaborative draft, we're just going to be left with one board essentially ranking 16 A24 movies here. So that's what our end goal is going to be. As always with collab drafts, a special shout out to Screen Drafts, wonderful podcast that has influenced this draft layout. Before we explain the picks and the abilities, I am going to read the list that we put together for the A24 horror collaborative draft.
Mhm.
So that episode was myself, Ben, Sophie, and Marta McFly. Good friend of the pod, good friend of all of ours. Love Marta. At 13, we had Talk to Me. 12, Pearl. 11, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. 10, Tusk. 9, Climax. 8, The Witch. 7, The Lighthouse. 6, Green Room. 5, The Killing of a Sacred Deer. 4, Midsommar. 3, Hereditary. 2, Under the Skin. And number 1, I Saw the TV Glow. So, as Ben alluded to earlier, completely unanimous and collaborative in all forms and facets.
Wow.
Pretty sure you really fucked that draft by putting Hereditary at 3, Ben. That was on you. Just so we're all clear.
I feel
What?
great about it.
What like time
I
frame?
don't disagree with that.
I don't need
Oh.
I don't need a specific day, but like what time frame was this? This would have been like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, this was in 2024.
Okay.
This episode was recorded October 27th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Wow. Beautiful.
If we must know. So that is how that transpired.
Just curious about
Yeah,
times.
some of those choices. Well, we'll
I
see.
don't
If
hate
any,
that list at all.
I loved Danny's reaction to Bodies, Bodies, Bodies just appearing
Right.
on the list.
right, that's what I was most interested in.
I personally love the movie that was listed after that one. I'm glad to hear it on there.
I find it fascinating that Danny doesn't hate that list, and I actually think that's a wondrous insight into how this draft is about to go, because that list is wrong and scattered. So, Ben, would you do us the honors of explaining the draft picks and the abilities and firing up the wheel of names so we can commence the A24 collaborative draft here?
For sure. Yeah, we're doing a 4-person 16 movie draft. Drafter A is going to get picks 1, 5, 9, and 13. Drafter B will get picks 2, 6, 10, and 14. Drafter C gets picks 3, 7, 11, and 15. And Drafter D will get picks 4, 8, 12, 16. All 4 of us will have one veto, which you can use on. You can actually use it on anything. You can use it on your own movie if you want to. We've seen that before. So
You can.
you can use a veto on anything. Because Drafter C is picking more towards the bottom, they're going to get an extra veto. So Drafter C will have 2 vetoes. And then Drafter D, because they're at the very bottom, is going to get the one and only veto override. Now, the override can only be used on another person's selection. It can't be used on your own movie. So if I decide to play Tusk at number 2 and Ethan says no, Danny's like, actually, that's kind of cool. Let's leave it at 2. He could veto override Danny. It gets rid of Ethan's veto and Tusk sticks. So
Feels like a very realistic scenario laid out.
It actually does. I'm not shocked that you chose that as an example.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how it's going to go. Any logistical questions about drafting order or abilities here on the pod?
No, sir.
Feeling pretty good.
I'm keeping that asterisk on the veto override in mind because I got busted on this last time when I played a veto override on my own pick, and I was quickly informed that I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben, why don't you fire up the wheel of names here, and we will spin for our draft spots for the A24 collaborative draft.
Men's name is huge.
Wow. Yeah.
Huge.
How did what happened there?
I have
What's
no
going
idea.
on?
That's crazy.
I don't trust that.
Yeah, it is a
Did you
little
clear your cookies?
suspicious.
Every time. Every
Okay,
single time.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The other thing to note here, as the wheel of names begins to spin, once your name is landed on, you do get to choose what drafting position you want. So you don't
Yeah.
have to choose right away, but you get to choose once we're all selected here. There is definitely a spot that I want, that I feel strongly about. So
Yeah,
fingers
I
crossed.
feel the same. Let's see who gets to choose first.
Let's see what happens here. Oh boy.
Come on.
Oh, was
Oh,
close.
oh,
Damn.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's what I want, but that's great.
Okay. So Cameron's going to get to pick
Next.
first.
Oh, that was diabolical.
It
Okay.
was
Crazy.
Not bad. Not
It's,
bad.
it's a game of millimeters, Danny. Come on,
Truly was.
just like baseball.
Oh, I don't even get a choice.
Wow. Danny left with
But-
the scraps.
That also means if a veto's played, you can play it last. So other people will have to use their veto first.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot
So-
about that piece.
This is another important logistical mark. Thanks, Ben. The order in which we have just been spun and get to select, so Cameron, myself, Ben, and then Danny, is going to be the order of first refusal for a veto. So it'll go in that specific order, and in terms of who wants to play veto first. Cameron, what drafter do you want to be?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Part of me is thinking, do I want the veto override? Is there a world where there are like two or three of us aligned on something and someone just puts something audacious up there and it's my job to or something like that, you know? Or
I have
veto
a feeling there's going to
some-
be some audacity here.
There's going to
Yeah,
be some,
right.
yeah,
There's gonna
some
be
nefarious
some-
play.
But it's like, do I really only want one veto? But there's also the world where in every other collaborative draft, I don't think I've ever used one. So is it really that valuable to me?
Pretty hard to play, I will say. Hard to play veto. Override.
Also the first time I'm doing this with four folks, so you know,
Mhm.
there's extra stuff
Okay.
going on here. Does number one really mean that much to me? These are the things going through my mind.
Final say,
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. I think this might be really dumb, but I think I'm going to go with drafter B.
Okay.
Cool. I like
Going
it.
with drafter B. I respect that. Okay. So you're going to
Solid
get
choice.
picks 2, 6, 10, and 14 in a single veto.
Great.
Okay. 2, 6. I'm going to fill out the doc here as we go. 2, 6, 10, and 14 with a single veto. Okay. I am going to go with drafter C. I want 2 vetoes. I feel like there's going to be a lot of nefarious shit. And
That makes
I
sense. That makes sense
need
to me.
to be prepared. Whether that comes to fruition, yet to be seen. But I feel good.
Yeah.
3, 7, 11, and 15 for myself with 2 single vetoes. Ben, you going to be A or D?
I love that override.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I thought he was going to say, I love that D.
We were talking
Either
about
way.
movies of men. It's true.
Pretty close. This is true. Okay. So Ben, you're going to get 4, 8, 12, 16. You're going to
I
get
kick
the
us off. I should be thinking.
Yep. So you're going to kick us off at 16. You're going to get a veto and a veto override. This means that effectively, Danny will get to pick the number 1 A24 movie on the A24 Collaborative
I know you don't
Draft,
trust me with that power.
which I don't trust at all, which
Ugh.
essentially nullifies my 2 vetoes because I got to save them for the top 3. So, not good. But Danny's going to get 1, 5, 9, 13 in a single veto. Okay.
I've never drafted the number 1 spot before.
Wow. How do you feel?
Well, it's not as fun as you think. Let me tell you.
I feel like
I mean,
have
it
a
is if
large
the vetoes are
burden on my
gone.
shoulders.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You get to do whatever you want.
the weight of the
I love
world.
it.
Atlas right
Yeah.
here, man. Let's go.
When people look at that graphic, they're just gonna see number 1.
Yeah, they won't see your name, Danny. Living
Yeah,
on
that's true.
anonymity. Anonymity.
The Daniel
'Kay.
Day-Lewis movie.
Not eligible for this draft, contrary to popular belief. Okay, let's commence the A24 Collaborative Draft. We got 16 movies to go through. We're 45 minutes into this episode and we have yet to begin the draft. So we should start and see what happens. Ben,
Yeah.
number 16, brother. What are we feeling?
16. We are
Tuscan
feeling
coming.
way too low. You know that. Dan.
Way too early. Yeah.
I'm feeling like I want to get a personal pick on here, and one that I feel is pretty like symbolic of what A24 at least was, maybe not is now, but very artistic, kind of letting the directors do whatever they want, and a very, I believe, divisive film, but one that I enjoy, and one whose shirt I'm wearing at the moment. So I'm going to go with Spring Breakers at number 16.
Goated.
Yeah.
Danny's worst nightmares commenced. Right on.
Oh, Danny's
Rocking
mortified
Spring
already.
Breakers.
Ben, do you have feelings about this movie?
I don't think I do.
Unreal.
I think it's the quickest I've ever given a movie a half star.
Nice. See, that's what I'm talking about, though. That's why I love it, because I feel like it's very divisive. I think it's either a half-star film or a 5-star film, and for me, it's a 5-star. Like, I think, the James Franco of it aside, I think he's giving it an insane, really good performance in this as Alien. Like, it's crazy. And then you have all these like Disney stars that are like doing a complete 180, that's just reversal on like how they're perceived, in public and stuff with this movie. So I think it's fun. You Gucci Mane in it, which is wild, and this
incredible
is like,
performance from Gucci Mane.
it's really good.
Movie.
And this is their second, according to their wiki, this is their second film. Like this is what they were kind of coming out of the gate with. So I talked about earlier, it's like I was curious how far back we'd go. I didn't know if I was going to play this, but we've pretty much gone to the beginning. So we're going to cover, unless this gets vetoed, we're going to be covering, I believe, the whole range of A24.
When you asked, I wonder how far we're going to go back. This is exactly where my brain went. I was like, okay, we're going to go. We're probably going back to Spring Breakers. I had a feeling you were going to play this movie. We discussed this movie a couple times on our podcast. I think I am much closer to the 5-star territory. I've given this movie 4 stars. I've seen it twice. I do genuinely think like the more times you see this movie, you're like, yeah, it is as good as we think it is. I really like this movie. I think it's great.
Hell yeah.
Incredible performance, like you mentioned, from James Franco. And yeah, I just am curious how Danny's feeling right now, frankly. Like,
yeah, I am too. Does he hate it enough to veto it? I had no idea, honestly. Like, I didn't realize he felt that way about this.
I don't think I could veto it just because I bet someone will play it higher and I have to just live with 16. But I also admire that we're choosing their second movie, like just to include the breadth of what they've done as a business. I think is an interesting angle to look at it. But my Letterboxd review for the record, it's the only A24 movie I've given a half star. I have given everything else at least 1 star.
Bro. That's amazing.
But my review was James Franco should be put on a list for this.
Yeah, a list for the casting call for Spring Breakers 2. That's the list. Yeah, interesting. The Wikipedia says here that it was U.S. code distribution with Annapurna Pictures only. So this being their second movie ever distributed, I find that angle really interesting, that they were able to like kind of shoehorn their way into a movie like this and essentially identify really early on, like, we like weird shit and we like divisive stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, man, this movie's sick.
Cameron, do you like this movie?
I have it rated at 3.5.
Okay.
So respectable. It's not one of my faves. I definitely haven't seen it since the first time I saw it, which that doesn't give a time frame, but it's been a few years. So
Nice.
I haven't seen it since the first time I saw it.
I've seen it once.
Incredible.
It has at least been 5 years, if not longer. I think I lived in Raleigh, so it was at least post 2020, but not pre 2022. So small time frame there.
Y'all are
much.
motherfucking soulmates. This is an incredible movie. Okay, I'm keeping it. I'm not gonna veto this.
No, there's gonna be a lot.
It'd be wild, dude, on the first pick too.
Just for it to go to 12, like
right. It's a little unfortunate. They do have a Spring Breakers puzzle, I think, on their shop, which is like the ski mask.
The mask,
But it is a
yeah.
little unfortunate that like Spring Breakers did come out in 2012. Obviously, 10 plus years before A24 figured out like we can make cool merch for our stuff and people like our movies more. This is ripe for cool merch. And I don't know, man. Maybe what? 2032, 20-year anniversary?
I would say next year,
Spring Breakers?
15 year. Let's go.
15 year. Oh, there you go. Next year, 15-year
Make it
anniversary.
happen.
Maybe we get a disc. Get a physical disc out here. Okay. With that in mind, I've got 15. So I'm kind of going off my own list here in a similar fashion as you, Ben. And I am unsure of your guys' feelings about two films that I want both of them on the list. And I have a feeling Danny doesn't like one of them.
Ooh.
So with that in mind, I kind of want to play it here for a little safety. Because I do feel like we'll all agree on the other
to the
one.
draft for me.
Yeah. And then we're going to get to the end, and Danny's like, I should have played one of my vetoes back then.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
why didn't I play it?
Okay, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna do this. This is a personal favorite of mine. I think easily one of their best movies of the 2020s. Best movie that they've put out. Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I just really, really like this movie. So I'm gonna be putting forth Alex Garland's Civil War at number 15 here. I revisited the 4K a couple of nights ago and was just utterly blown away. I think the sound design, the production design, the downright dread that this movie communicates, especially living right now, is important, to say the very least. I think we get our first taste of kind of Wagner Moura in a big production like this, which I think is a really cool thing to get. Obviously, Kirsten Dunst being Kiki on the big screen, which is great. And to me, this movie really has the juice and is really, really, really good and is much more layered than I think people give it credit for. But I know it's divisive. I know good friend of the podcast, Kevin Mikos, hates this movie, can't stand this film. And judging by Danny's reaction, I am guessing Danny's closer to that end of the pendulum than mine.
I'm sort of in the middle.
Okay.
There are aspects of this movie I like, and some that I do. I think I gave it a 3. I want to say, if I can remember correctly.
Okay, it's a little harsh, but it's, we can't all understand greatness the first time we see it.
I'll say I love the Jesse Plemons scene. I think it's the best scene in the movie.
I'll say he comes like off the bench and just gives 7 solid minutes. Like he just crushes it, and then he's out of there. Like, damn, that was fantastic.
Elite.
Yeah, you mentioned that sequence, and I agree with you that it is such an easy sequence to call your favorite. But I think for me, the sequence that takes place right after that is so understated in terms of being overshadowed by that performance. Right where Wagner Moura's character of Joel, they basically link up with the Western Forces base, and he is screaming, and you don't hear any of it because all you hear are tanks rolling behind him. And I think that is like the perfect distillation of what this movie is. And I think it's really, really good. Plus Kaylee Spaney, guys. This is Kaylee Spaney.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Kaylee Spaney, great job.
Is she good, though?
I think so. Do you not like Kaylee Spaney?
Is she good like as an actress, or is she good in this movie?
Both. I mean, I'm just asking questions here.
I didn't know that take was out there. Frankly, I thought we all supported Kaylee Spaney.
I'm just kidding. I like this movie. I like Kaylee Spaney.
Yeah, I gave this 4 stars. It's not the movie I thought you were going to play here. I thought you were playing something else. So I'm a little surprised, but I dig it.
Yeah. Maybe stick a pin in that, and I'd be curious what else you think I was going to play, because that was probably highly likely the other movie I was thinking about. Are we keeping this movie here? We're good. We're settled.
Let's ride, man.
Sick. Alex Garland on the board.
I'd
love to see it. Okay, so speaking of Alex Garland, we've got Ex Machina and Warfare and Men still on the slate. So just heads up, those 4 movies. We got 14 slots left. Really, only 10 available now. So
I like it. Yeah,
that's a crazy statement.
Maybe we'll just throw on Annihilation just because, even though it doesn't qualify.
Fun. We're just like, no, it's a Garland pod now.
Yeah,
seems like an A24 movie.
It does.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Spring Breakers and Civil War. Cam, you're at 14.
What a place to be. I'm in this, like, I need to get a personal pick on here, and so I'm doing like a little bit of research into what that might be. For
Some
just compare. I'm
introspection.
just looking at some other people's ratings of different films here. Nothing crazy, but I think I'm gonna have to go with. Well, for some people this might be too low, so we can discuss that. But I'm gonna go with David Lowery's The Green Knight.
Oh, fascinating.
Dev Patel, just absolutely cooking. I was entranced by this movie. For those that don't know, this is a sort of like a King Arthur knight type of vibe, but with a lesser known knight played by Dev Patel, after chasing after the Green Knight to receive his punishment from a little encounter he has with him at the beginning of the film. I think that it is mesmerizing and really, really cool diversion of a knight's journey.
Yep.
And yeah, I was fascinated by this movie when it came out, and I still think about it a lot. It's one of the movies that I want to show my wife, but I just need her like in the perfect mood and with the absolute correct amount of time, because it is a rather long film. So I need to prepare her for that. But it is something that I think about regularly, and I do think it's my favorite David Lowery. So I am yeah, we're gonna at least attempt to get it on here at, what is this, 14. So yeah, if anyone has any other thoughts on that, get after it, man.
I think it's interesting for me to play a Garland film and then for you to play a David Lowery film, another guy who has multiple A24 projects. So we've got The Green Knight, we've got A Ghost Story, and most recently Mother Mary. I don't think there's really much to lean into there, but I just think it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting for me because it's not the movie I would have put on this list by either of those two directors. And I think I'm going to struggle to put a second movie by any director on this list just to like spread the wealth. So I do think that's, staking the claim on a filmography. Unless other people may feel differently, but
I told you, men's still out there, still on the board. Don't ever count it out. I like A Green Knight. I love The Green Knight. These movies amazing.
Yeah, I mean, to quote Cameron, other than the one time I've seen it, I haven't seen it. But I did give it 4 stars. I remember liking this movie. Yeah. I'm surprised it made the list. Like, if you had made me predict what was going to be on here, I don't think I would have thought that Green Knight would make it. I'm not upset about it, but I'm just surprised. But yeah, I mean, it's great. Dev Patel's awesome.
I mean, I'm happy. It's the highest ranked movie on my list to appear on this list, so I can't be mad yet.
Nice.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I do have another film by him ranked higher. I will stay on my personal list.
Pete's Dragon.
But I like this movie for a couple reasons. Erin Kellyman, we've talked about her on the podcast in the past. I think Erin Kellyman should just like work more. I think she's a great actress. She's in this movie. Same with Alicia Vikander. Incredible performance in this movie. Great classic Lowery sequence where it's like, is it real? Is it fantasy? We don't really know what's happening. I think it is cool to stake our claim in The Green Knight as the Lowery movie and on this list because it is, to me, it feels much bigger in scope than a general A24 movie. This is a big, adventurous, epic fantasy sci-fi movie. And I think that to put something like that on the board would essentially green stamp, like, we recognize A24 has the breadth to kind of do a lot of things. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm pro.
Yeah, nice. I'm pro it as a pick.
Yay.
I think, like, I didn't see it coming. I don't think you would probably see this in like the top 10, top 15 of a ton of A24 lists. And I'm kind of in it to have a more unique list. So I think it's a cool pick.
Agreed. Okay. Wow.
Praise God. Let's ride.
Fairly collaborative so far. fairly collaborative. We're doing okay.
Danny's coming though, so
Danny is coming. Danny is here at 13, where things I have a feeling might turn a little bit more serious and a little less whimsical.
What makes you
Opus.
think that?
13.
Opus at 13.
Gotta get the Malkovich heads on it, you know.
I just need to need to one up Ben and pick Charles Swan to have the
The
earliest
earliest.
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
What
What are you gonna go with?
I feel like we've all used our first picks to get a personal one in there. And I genuinely feel like that's a fair way to treat the early picks, because pulling out the veto early is going to be, people are a little bit less inclined to do that. You can kind of sneak something in that you might feel won't get played later on. So I'm going to try to do the same here. And just to like show, I think, how hard this is, we're picking 16 movies, 4 movies each. I've given 7 A24 movies 5 stars. So
Wait, hold on.
At the absolute best, I'm not picking 3 of the movies I've given a perfect rating. So this is hard. Like
you've given 7 A24 movies 5 stars.
Is that Ethan? Would you say that's a lot or too little?
No. I'm trying to figure out where I comp with that. I'm
at 2.
Dangerously close.
2.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm a stingy bitch.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
I'm at 12.
Yeah. Okay.
But I've also seen the most out of any of us.
That's true.
So that means
ratio-wise, that might be similar to my 7.
Yeah.
Probably pretty close. It means
not
the
too
most
far
obscure
off.
documentary that they've ever made, I've seen, and I gave 5 stars, and none of you have even seen it. So, do better.
De Palma?
I was gonna say De Palma.
Not a 5, not even close. 5 star, not very.
I know they like De Palma.
Not
De
a very
Palma
good movie.
in my when I filter by ranked, De Palma isn't my number 3 movie. That's not a ranked thing that I made myself. That is just filtering. I love that movie, but it won't. I'm
crazy.
You won't have to worry about that.
Imagine if we put De Palma on this list.
De
That
Palma
would be
number 1,
deranged. So are you gonna go with a personal pick, Danny, or are you you're trying to go with a 5-star pick?
I'm gonna go with a 5-star pick. There's one I really want on the board, and I think is maybe a little bit on the closer to underseen territory of A24's catalog. I'm going to go with 2019's The Last Black Man in San Francisco. This follows Jimmy Fails, who wants to reclaim ownership and agency and rights to a home in a Victorian home in the heart of San Francisco. He's joined by his friend, and they kind of see the city change before their eyes. And I think it's an incredible movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I think it's deserving of a place on the list.
It's really nice to see Danny standing up for Jonathan Majors, an upstanding citizen. Very proud of you for making your stance.
Notice I said Jimmy Fails and his friend.
Yeah, you worded it very wisely. Finally, for once, it's another person playing The Last Black Man in San Francisco and not myself. So it feels really good to not be that guy. This is one of my 5-star movies as well, Danny.
Oh, let's go, Ethan.
This is one that I've only seen once, and I think if I rewatched it, it would just skyrocket for me. So I'm really happy about
that happened for me. Yeah. I gave it a 3.5 the first time I watched it. I've now, according to Letterboxd, watched it 4 times, and all the next 3 were all 5.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate how much Jonathan Majors sucks, because he's fucking lights out in this movie.
He's so good.
He's so
really
good.
He's so good.
And it's such a bummer that I wasn't gonna play this, but this is like one of my top 10 A24 movies. Like, I love this movie.
Oh wow. Okay, maybe I played it too soon. I didn't know how you guys
grew
felt
up.
about it.
I spent every other weekend in San Francisco growing up, so like. The way they captured the city, I think, is some of the most beautiful that anybody's ever captured in San Francisco. And just to show, I don't know, the diversity and all that kind of stuff. This movie is great. Again, it's the Jonathan Majors of it all. I felt the same about Spring Breakers with Franco, and just there's just so many shitty people, but unfortunately,
so
they're
we're
in
2
good
for 4
movies,
on canceled.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get mid-90s in here, and But yeah, no, I'm glad it's on the list, but yeah, I wasn't gonna play it, but I'm really happy to.
I ended up going with it for the personal pick because otherwise I would have had to put it in the top 10 and then we might have had more of an argument against the Jonathan
Yeah.
Majors of it all,
I
which
agree.
is tough. If you guys feel bad about it, my friend has the tattoo of like the image of Jimmy and Montgomery sitting together, tattooed on his
Shoot.
leg.
That's not ideal.
That is big tough. That is
That's
so
tough. It's big tough. I stand by this pick. I think, you know, there is something to be said about separating the art from the artist and that whole conversation. I think this is a great moment to do so. What I find so interesting every time this movie gets brought up, this was the cinematographer on this movie is Adam Newport Berra, who also shot Blink Twice, Splitsville, and has The Invite coming for A24 out of Sundance, and also shot a movie we just talked about, Club Kid, as well.
Whoa.
So if that's any indication what those two forthcoming movies might look like, Danny, you've seen Club Kid, so you can get an idea, but like that is very promising to me personally.
Yeah. The Invite has really it's all within that apartment, but it
Yeah?
really
Great
moves
inside.
and so there's a lot of cool it's good cinematography, really great cinematography for being in a apartment the whole time.
Yeah.
There's something about how the camera moves that gives it a lot of life. So that's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a good play. It's a good play. I'm not going to veto it because I do think it is one of the best A24 movies. I genuinely do.
Yeah. It's in my like top 4 Letterboxd 4 favorites sometimes when I shake things up. But yeah, it's right up there like all time for me.
Thanks.
So for me personally, this is number 12 out of 129 for me on my personal list. So we are up there with this movie, and I'm really want to know because we have exactly 12 slots to go. We've all now picked essentially a personal pick. I really love what we're doing. I just am really curious. There are obviously some movies that have to be on this list. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Maybe,
guys.
Maybe not.
Have to be?
This is where the rubber meets the road, and
free will, man.
This is what I'm saying.
Decisions to make.
Free will.
Well, Ben's going to take us into the round 2, essentially here, the next round of individual
free
picks.
will zone started by Ben. Let's go.
I am going to play a film that I genuinely love, that had me bawling my eyes out and should have gotten some Oscar buzz that it did not. And at number, what are we at, 12? I'm going to be playing the story of the Von Erich brothers, The Iron Claw.
Not where I thought you were going to go.
Okay.
I thought you were going to go with a different movie.
Here's the like Iron Claws. It's in my top 4. I'm just hoping to get my top 4 on there. The other 3 I feel like other people like, so it'll get on here. I didn't think Iron Claw would make it, so I'm taking a risk here, but we'll see. Yeah, I think this is great. I think Zac Efron deserved to be in the discussion at least for Best Actor. I think he gives the best performance of his life. So great performances from everybody, but like that final scene, just like I was just sobbing in the theater. Like it's pretty perfect in my eyes, and yeah, I want something like this on the list. So maybe it's another personal pick, but maybe that's what I'm going to do with all 4 of them. It's hard to say. So Iron Claw.
I have this one sitting at a 4.5 for me. I think this broke a streak of it. Probably, when did this come out? 2024, 4 or 5 years of not crying in a movie. This broke the streak for me.
That'll happen.
But I am a big have been a big professional wrestling fan for a lot of my life, and so even just outside of the like emotionality of the story, I thought it was cool and does one of the best jobs of describing what professional wrestling is and what it actually is for and what they're actually doing there. And it's just like any other job, and if you do well, you're going to get promoted and whatever that means there. But no, I thought it was incredibly emotional and it just really powerful, and I love it a lot. I went and saw it. I barely even knew this movie existed. I was going to see Aquaman 2 that day,
Hell yeah.
and I was like, oh, what's this Iron Claw? And then I left sobbing, and then had to drive 5 hours to Clemson, South Carolina for Christmas. So
Damn.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Wow. Okay. So I went to an event last night put on by Criterion Channel, and it was a filming and a recording of Adventures in Moviegoing. And this was with Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein. And the reason I bring this up is because they were asked a question that was, what is a movie that you think is a masterpiece that you've seen that you will never watch again? And they gave their answers, very lovely, wonderful answers. To me, this is my answer. This movie is a masterpiece. It is an absolutely astounding piece of filmmaking. And I think arguably, one of the best like biopic movies out there. I think it's not generally associated as a biopic movie, but I do think it absolutely qualifies. Performances, like you said, Ben, should have been recognized by the Academy at least somewhat. I think everything about this movie works really, really well. For me, it just hits too close to home. So I'm never going to watch this movie again. I was uncontrollably sobbing in the movie theater. Will not revisit. To that effect, I like it on the list. I think it's a kind of an undersung A24 movie, if you will.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The people
like
that
it, Danny?
know, and
Yeah, exactly. It's a real ball kind of situation. Another interesting tidbit here. Movie edited by Matthew Hannum, who has edited, obviously, The Iron Claw, Baby Girl, Enemy, Swiss Army Man, Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor, Boots Riley's I Love Boosters, White Noise, It Comes at Night, and Vox Lux.
Wow.
Just to name a
Lux,
few.
hell yeah.
Just to name a
So
few.
kind of
That's
sick.
elite.
That's a pretty elite filmography right there.
Yeah.
Danny, where do your thoughts lie with beefed up Zac Efron?
I like The Claw. I gave it 4. I don't feel like I'm as personally connected with it. Like it's not something that I think about as often, clearly, as the rest of the room here. But yeah, I gave it 4. I think it's a solid movie. Again, I almost feel like anything that comes up, aside from maybe a couple of movies here and there, like come as a surprise when it comes on the list, because it's like there's 100 movies that like verifiably could maybe show up here. So I think anything is like surprising to some degree.
To that point, I am getting a little bit worried. I'm looking at my personal list, and there are movies, like I mentioned, that have to be on this list. We're down to 11. How many more movies can we just be like, oh yeah, that is a good A24 movie, should be on the list? Like when do we need to, take the fork in the road here?
Arguably, we passed it.
I like how before
All the
my
way
pick,
back
you
in
were
16?
like, hey, we got 12 left. This is going to be great. Let's see what on my list gets there. I make one pick. It's not on your list. You're like, all right, shit, guys, we need to buckle down.
We got to shape up.
My list is not showing up here.
I mean, that's what's crazy
I-
about
you know-
like even 16. Like when we played number 16, we were past the point of including every single great A24 movie.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. I mean, the Iron Claw sits at 20 for me personally. So it's outside of the zone. We're outside of the zone, but I'll allow it because I have a couple personal picks in my like top 10 that I just don't think are going to make this list. And to me, that's okay. There's 2 that I have to have on this list.
You got 2 vetoes, but
That's exactly my point. Okay, we're keeping the Iron Claw. Respect. I like it. Okay. Down to 11, guys. I feel good about this list so far. You guys feel good?
I don't
feeling
think you
great.
feel good about this at all.
I feel
think you're worried.
things. I'm not sure if good is the adjective for it, but
Honestly, okay, look. We've got 5 movies on the list. If a movie theater were to be like, we're going to have an A24 screening, we're going to start at 8 a.m., we're going to go until midnight. These are the 5 movies that we're playing. And it's Spring Breakers, Civil War, The Green Knight, Last Black Man in San Francisco, and The Iron Claw. I'm like, I'm there. I'll buy a ticket. That sounds great to me. It sounds like a great breadth
It's a
of
solid
films. Solid lineup. Okay, I'm just trying to vamp because I'm not ready to make my 11th pick. I got to figure out how you guys feel about the movies I got to have on the list. That's my trouble.
Do you do a quick letterbox scroll? See if you can find friends' ratings while you're thinking.
I'm trying to. I'm really bad at it though. Like I'm really
It's
inefficient.
hard though. Like you
It's
gotta
difficult.
scroll a lot, especially
A lot
on
of
desktop.
command
You have to
Fs.
hit. You got to hit
Yeah.
older a bunch of times.
Yeah, I just hit
F,
older
damn
once,
it.
and I still haven't found either of yours. Still wait, gotta hit older again. Hold on, still haven't found you
Damn,
guys.
I must have seen this one early.
Okay, wait, I found Cameron. We're
Uh-oh.
pro. Okay, we're pro.
Praise God.
I know Danny's seen this movie because I saw it with him. Oh wait, I found Danny. Okay, all right, maybe we'll hold off on that movie.
Saw
Doing
it
pretty
with
good.
me. Interesting.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's
pretty
not
good.
a
Okay.
super long list.
But then again,
We live
like I
on the
said at the very
opposite
top,
coast.
I have to play defense against Ben. I have to think long game here because there are a couple movies that I want on this list that I know Ben doesn't want on this list. So I have to figure out how to play that. I can't go too deep and then have Ben veto them and then run out of space. I have to straddle that line.
Interesting.
Ethan just like locked in. He was just like he was vamping like chill, and then he was like, I gotta play defense against Ben. Like
Gotta
we
play
just like took a hit of something. Like
I'm here.
Ben's
here.
out to get me.
I choked on my drink is what happened, and then it gave me clarity because I lost oxygen in my brain for a second. So,
Sometimes that's what you need, brother.
sometimes that's all it takes. Okay. At number 11.
I just keep scrolling my list, and I'm like coming up with like 8-9 options to play for my next one. It's like, how do we-
100%. Oh man.
I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna take a risk. I feel like this could be higher, and if we want to veto it and get it higher, I'm okay with that. But I'm gonna take a little bit of a defensive stance here. I personally would have this higher, but at number 11, I'm gonna be putting forth The Brutalist, a movie that I consider a complete masterpiece, start to finish, lights out, as good as it gets for movie making. I play this because if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Ben has never seen this movie, which I guess could go in my direction. But also, I know Ben sometimes is just like, don't vibe with that, gonna veto it.
This is one that I was thinking about as well in terms of are we trying to represent the A24 brand, or are we trying to describe the changes that they've made with this list? You know, this is one of their big festival acquisitions that went on to win and be nominated for
Big
many,
time.
many Oscars. It was
win
this
some, yeah.
huge, you know, there was these tweets and stories of the film canister being flown and strewn across America, Canada, and Europe. And people showing up to a screening and seeing a tweet that the film canister is making its way to another city, and they're distraught. But I do remember seeing this at the New York Film Festival. I did skip a 35 millimeter or a 70 millimeter screening of it to go to a just at New York. The press screening was in 70, and because our friend Sophie was putting on a Substance screening that I got invited to only because I know her, and so I skipped that. I'm not an important person by any stretch, so don't get that twisted. But I felt bad about that, but then I still got to see it in 35 at the public screening, and I was blown away. And it was one of my wife was there in New York with me seeing it. And
wow,
at the intermission, she was like, I am loving this. And I'm like, I love my wife. She is so smart and amazing and has great taste in film. But no, I do think this is an interesting one to play because it is kind of speaking to what A24 is more trying to do now. And they leave a lot more gaps in their schedule for acquisitions.
Like
we talked earlier about the Invite, which they paid many dollars to get out of Sundance, and there was multiple day bidding wars for it. This just seems to be a little bit more of their strategy, and this is kind of I would view this one as the major turning point of them really buying something that had a ton of buzz and really pushed it to a lot of at least Oscar attention and some wins.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I think Danny, we saw this together at TIFF, I believe.
Yeah, this was like the brink of our friendship, Ethan.
This
Like,
is where it all began, because I think
it's
we
where
sat
it
next to each
began.
other and I looked over at you and I didn't know you. And I was like,
No.
I
And
like your Studio Ghibli tattoos. And you're like, thanks, dude. And then I was like, halfway through this at the intermission, I was like, oh shit, you're you're into architecture. This must be a big deal. And that's where it all began.
it truly is. And
That's
for
so
that
sweet.
reason and that reason alone, it's got to be on the list.
Gotta be on the list.
I think it's a
Yeah,
great
you know-
spot for it, though.
Okay. You think this is a good spot?
Yeah.
11 is good.
In my like personal, if I were to get down to it, it would probably be higher in my like ranking of favorites and what I think is best. But I do think there's some stuff that might be more representative of A24 that might be higher that I might not have personally, but it's not. It's like it's pretty negligible. But no,
Sure.
I'm happy to see it on this list, and I do think it is good to have that have architect representation on this list. So.
Ben, you haven't seen The Brutalist.
I have January 30th, 2025.
Okay.
5-star first half, 2-star second half.
Yeah. Okay. I did.
3.5 star rating. Yeah, I wish I left at intermission. It was great.
You're so Amanda Dobbins coded. It's wild right now.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I wish I would have left halfway through that movie. It's so good.
Kind of, yeah. I'm not going to veto it. Like, I wouldn't
Okay.
be on my list, but it's, yeah, I get
Okay.
it.
That
I'm
tells me I
worried about
played-
what else you're going to do.
Well,
That's
it
basically what
tells
comes
me I
down
put it
to
in the right spot. It tells me I put it in the right spot.
Yeah.
If I would have gotten any later, I do feel like you would have vetoed it. If I would have played it at
100%.
my next spot, would you have vetoed it?
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
We did. Wow. Whoa, without a doubt.
Top 10 Brutalist? Like, Jesus. What are we doing?
No, I think it's a perfect spot.
Okay. I have this in my personal at number 5 for me personally. This is my
Wow.
number 5 A24 movie of all time. I love The Brutalist.
Ethan,
Really
I
wanted
can't
to
help but-
revisit it before this pod, but I didn't get to.
It's a long one, so it would have been.
Yeah.
would have been.
I would have had to
tough.
commit.
Ethan,
I've
I
already
can't help but
committed
notice
7 hours to it. So
Yeah. your A24 list is not public. What's up?
I know I skimmed through his list earlier and I was like, where is it?
I don't know what to say about that. I can't.
It's crazy because
can't
mine isn't public either.
I can't speak to whether the information is public or not. It's beyond me. That's a letterbox question. Okay. So we've got The Brutalist, the right spot at 11. I feel really good about that. We've played 4 movies in a row that all begin with the. So
Okay.
there's something there. We're under the top 10.
Something.
Cam, what do you got? What do you got? Where are we going?
Well,
gonna
big
keep
play,
up
number
the-
10.
I'm gonna
Big key player.
keep up the trend with having at least having the word "the" in there. This is something that I know someone here shares
no.
love for.
Oh no.
Are you scared?
I'm nervous
scared.
what you're about to play. If
Oh,
it's
no.
where you, it's if you're going where I think you're going, this could be like Danny said. This is a pivotal junction in the draft.
Do you,
in my
think
opinion.
it's too low to do this here? If we're on
No,
the same
I-
wavelength?
No. It's a lot of questionable vagaries here, Cameron. But
That's true.
I think you got to put it here.
We
Again, it's a defense play.
I just gotta lay it all out, and if it gets on the list at any point, then we're thrilled. We're gonna go with David Robert Mitchell's masterpiece, Under the Silver Lake, starring Andrew Garfield. I watched this film
Let's
via
go.
an illegal stream on my laptop when I heard about it many years ago, and I just love this movie. It is him kind of going on a little treasure hunt around LA, digging into clues, conspiracies. I just think that it's amazing. This is where I've always loved Andrew Garfield, but I really locked into him as a performer in this movie. I believe Ethan shares some thoughts with me. So if you would like to speak on it some.
Yeah, this is like a Lynchian light meets Ari Aster kind of tinfoil hat treasure hunt throughout Los Angeles.
Yes.
Andrew Garfield starts to essentially see codes and things that he thinks are there, and then he searches for essentially his neighbor who goes missing, played by Riley Keough, in a lights out role for the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes in which she's in the movie. I really like this movie. I think it is much easier to like the vibes of this movie than like the actual innate like internal nature of this movie, because I do think it gets a little bit like out there and lost, but I really like it. And I think it's pretty cool to put on this list, frankly, because we were vibing, you know, we had a little group chat going about this movie being sweet.
We certainly did, and all three participants were excited. If I recall.
Yeah,
For
again,
one
it's really
reason
down to
or
Ben on
another.
this one. Right.
Ben, what do you think of Under the Silver Lake, directed by David Robert Mitchell?
I looked at my review. I gave it 3 stars. I just said I like unhinged Andrew Garfield, and I do. Like, I think he's great, but
Yeah.
This will probably surprise Ethan, but I have it obviously ranked lower than The Brutalist, so I'm not super stoked to see it on the list, but you know, it's got its following, and maybe foolishly, but I'm holding on to that veto a little bit longer.
Wow. Okay. You're going to keep your veto.
If I had to, if
I-
I was in your spot, I would play one right now.
Oh, okay.
I know you're not going to. I'm not trying to tell you to, but I'm just saying, like, I would if I
No.
had 2 vetoes.
Wouldn't do it.
I've got one veto, and it was destined for this movie.
God damn it.
Fuck yeah.
I think
Why?
putting it on the top 10 of A24's catalog is clinically insane.
It's wild.
This movie is such
You're sure
a
it's not
drag.
based? Like, you're sure it's not like an absolute goated pick?
I give this movie 2 stars. I think it's a total drag, and I think people that
You're so
finally,
wrong,
like,
Danny. You're so wrong, brother. It's crazy.
it's like, it's boring. It is overlong. It thinks it's cooler than it is. It's a total like hack gimmick of a movie, in my
It
opinion.
doesn't
find- I
belong in
find
the
it-
top 10. It doesn't
I
belong
find
in
it
the top 10.
I find it enthralling, Danny.
I think it's quite energetic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to use the veto. I cannot live with it being at number 10.
Good job,
And
Danny. I support it.
Danny,
I
here's the
think we
thing.
can all come together.
What other movie is going to
and
teach you about hobo code, though? This movie. That's the only movie out there that teaches you about hobo code.
I just hope that we can come together in collaborative spirit and recognize that it has no place in the top 7. And that is where it would likely be if it were to be played again.
I mean, this movie world premiered at Cannes. Let's just throw that.
Danny
to
knows
the wind.
himself that only great films premiere at Cannes. And he's seen all of them
Exactly.
from this year.
Give me your 15-second thoughts on Hope. Should we be excited for Hope?
On Hope, dude, literally
You
walked
can't even
out,
think it's so much.
and one of the first things I overheard was, get the t-shirts ready for I was at the press screening of Hope at Cannes in 2026. Like, it was just like that electric
Yeah.
of an experience that just nobody could have ever seen coming.
Nice.
Okay, so here's another little tidbit about this movie. The theatrical release was originally slated to be released on June 22nd, 2018. Then it was pushed back to December 7th, 2018. Then it was pushed back again to April 19th, 2019. And 3 days later was released on video on demand.
And you wanted it in the top 10. That's wild.
I didn't play this movie.
If that
Don't put
doesn't
this on
speak-
me.
If that, people weren't ready for it. They had to keep waiting and waiting, and then
I-
and then once they released
that's
it,
a
they had to
great
give
take.
it to them immediately.
I think that's a great take, Cameron. I rewatched this movie a few days ago, and I was like, this movie was 10 years ahead of its time. 100%.
Can
If
I
this
buy
movie
this
was
movie?
released this year, it would have its hive like that. Let me tell you.
Can I buy this film in physical disc?
Word on the street, there was a rumor that A24 was going to do a recut, or not a recut, but like a remaster of this movie and release it on their physical media standards
Wow,
with
Waste of money.
their spines.
that would
Fuck
be my
off.
first. That would
Fuck
be
off, Danny. Give me waste of money, my ass.
That would be my first A24 piece of physical media.
I was actually really curious. If I had more time, like another day, I kind of wanted to revisit, because we had been talking about this movie. You guys knew how I feel about it. I knew how you feel about it. We kind of knew this was coming. I was curious to revisit to see if I held my position. I did not have a chance to. And
Gotta
and now I
reevaluate.
have no reason to. So probably won't happen. But
Yeah, is this a record for like longest talking about a movie that's not on the list? Like,
Yes.
it's not getting
Okay,
played,
so
guys. It's vetoed.
Who vetoed this movie?
Danny.
Danny
I
vetoed
did.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, your single
Which-
veto is over,
Which
brother.
just sucks because I had one power and there was only one realistic outcome where I was ever going to get to use it.
Cam, do you want to form a bond as brothers?
Get the fuck out of here.
to
This is insane.
play Under the Silver Lake as many times as it takes to get it on the board.
I would say that there's a reason I played it now and not later.
Okay.
Like
Well,
the soonest they could do it is
That would be such a great
Ethan
bit.
at 7,
7.
which is just crazy.
diabolical.
Even I don't even think the hive of this movie.
Cam could do
would
it at
put it
6.
at 7.
Cam can do it at 6.
Yeah.
I don't see any problems
Yeah,
with that.
Oh,
Well, let's get through 10 first.
Okay,
Yeah,
Cam,
yeah.
you got to renominate. You got a 10 slot here.
Dude, I know. I'm trying to not get double veted up here.
Okay.
But oh,
to
brother.
be fair, Cam, I was hoping I was gonna do it to Ethan. I didn't want to do it to you.
Okay, that's really ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. You don't think I can handle it, or anyway? All right, let's
You're
see.
a glue guy. I don't want to hurt the glue guy.
Yeah, you're the glue.
Yeah, I'll just fucking
That's
quit.
true.
Can I say that on this podcast? Do we do cursing?
No
here?
threats allowed.
This might be low for some people, but I am gonna toss something out there that I watched quite recently, and this would be a welcome veto if you want it to be higher.
What is
But
happening?
I
What
don't
does
know
that mean?
I don't know. I saw it literally yesterday, 2 days ago.
Wow,
oh,
recency
okay.
bias much? Jesus Christ, Cameron. We got a whole catalog here.
All right,
Come on, glue guy, hold it together.
Do it.
here.
all right. I'm choosing something else then. Sorry.
No,
No.
just go with your heart.
Don't
Choose
listen to
that.
Ethan.
Don't listen to me.
I am going to go with Trey Edward Schultz's, who is a white man, I discovered. I'm going to go with his film Waves.
This is not making the list, Kim. There's just no way in
Waves?
hell this is on the list. Waves sucks, man. This
Waves
movie's
sucks.
not
I thought
good.
you liked this movie.
No. It's one giant episode of Euphoria.
All right. Veto it then.
Yeah, put your money where your mouth is. Talking a
dude.
big fucking game over here.
When the fuck was it like everybody against Ethan? Give me a break.
It's not like I'm not like this movie's biggest fan, but I don't know.
I mean,
like-
I don't-
I cried
okay.
twice.
I don't hate Waves. It's just not on the. Why are we putting it on the list?
Danny, do you have any thoughts on Waves?
I love Waves.
Oh my god.
I
I
gave
love
a
Waves, but I
4.5.
hate Under the Silver Lake, where Andrew Garfield is actually giving a great performance. Okay.
Waves is probably in my top 16 A24 movies.
Wow. Ben, big Waves thoughts over there?
I like it, but I don't really want it on the list.
Okay. Well,
Cam, are you about to get double veted?
I'm happy to in this case.
Hmm.
I'll tell you, it's up to Ethan. I'm not going to veto it, but
Okay. I'll veto it. I'm not having Waves on the list.
All
I
right.
think
This
Waves
is
is. I think Waves is fine.
wild.
I think Waves is fine, and I think it's good. I haven't watched it in a long time, but like, there's no shot in hell Waves is above The Brutalist and The Iron Claw. Give me a break,
I would agree.
Cam.
I would agree.
Then why'd you
Yeah,
play it
same.
on this list?
Oh, wait, you'd agree?
What are you
I don't know
talking
what
about?
we're agreeing
No one
to.
else did. No one else played it.
Okay, try again, brother. Double veted.
All right. Can I get rid of 4 vetoes in one turn?
oh my
That's
God.
kind of where we're at this point. Damn it,
Oh
Bob.
my God.
Oh God.
Cam, I stand with you on the Waves pick. I would have kept it at 10. I like that movie.
It's no
Taylor Russell is so good in that movie.
overhyped.
Overhyped. All right, pal.
Lucas,
You were the
Hedges-
one that was like, "Do we even like Kaylee Spaney? Don't come for me."
Sterling K. Brown, Lucas Hedges.
Where is
Come on.
Lucas?
Yeah.
Free
love
him.
Lucas Hedges here.
Free Lucas Hedges. Release him from his shackles.
Hey, play the other Lucas Hedges movie. See what happens. You got a couple to choose from actually.
That's I'm not gonna play any Lucas Hedges movies in double digits. Personally, God, what the fuck do I do here now?
I think we
Play a
should've,
real
like,
pick. That's what you should do.
There are so many movies that I really care about that I don't have the time now to research if anyone else cares about.
This
follow
might be
your
the
heart.
longest pick that's ever taken place.
All right.
Oh my god.
All right.
Play a surefire bet. Play something surefire that we all can agree on.
He's gonna whip out like what should be number one right now.
That's what I'm afraid of. I need to play. Oh god. Here we go. Here's something. Let's go fucking Midsummer. How about that? Too low? Veto it. Is that what you wanted?
God damn it.
Is that what you wanted?
That's insane.
Oh my god. The fuck is wrong with you, dude? This is crazy.
Not in my top 30 A24, by the way, but there's some there's some kibble for the boys.
You're just doing this for us.
You're just like, I can't pick anymore. We gotta move on.
God.
In a way.
He said, if you're gonna veto all of my picks, I'm gonna play what you want in the top three.
Exactly.
This is
God damn it, man.
Jokes aside, you would want this in the top 3.
100%.
It's my number one movie. My number one
Yeah.
A24 movie.
I'm with Cam. Like, Cam and I started tough on number 10. We started tough. We had beef. I did veto him. But his last two, I've been right alongside him.
I love Midsummer. I have it 4 out of 5. I think it is really, really good. I just think that I like a lot of other A24 films more than this. That's just where I'm at.
Agreed.
And
Yeah,
if you
it's a 4 out of 5 for me.
again, if you want it in a different spot, we can get rid of another veto here. I'm happy to choose something else. Thrilled even.
Okay. This is a 5-star masterpiece movie.
I love this
16
film.
of those.
That's what that's the problem. I thought that when I saw it.
Oh my god, guys.
And now sometimes you see something a few times and it goes up. Sometimes it goes down,
Here's why
not by a lot.
I'm not going to veto it because Iron Claw was my number 4. So I have my top 3 left. Midsommar is my number 1. If we play it here, that leaves my other 2 open for my 2 picks. So I'm going to leave it as much as it hurts me. Barely Lethal.
I think just getting anything you want on the list somewhere is kind of a win with how broad this is.
Agreed.
This isn't the time to ask the question I was about to ask, so we can move on. If we're going to keep it, let's just move on. Florence Pugh goated. Let's go.
Okay. You could have been going in a million different directions. All-time date movie, honestly. Incredible stuff. Okay. Where's Jack Rayner these days? That's the real question.
I would love to know. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know where he's at.
I swear I just saw him in a movie.
I think he was in Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
He's the dad
That's what it was.
In that, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
How the Mighty Have Fallen. Power Ballad. Who's going to be in Power Ballad? All right. Anyway.
Wow. Midsommar is 10 on the list. Jeez. Ben, I feel like you and I just got shot.
Oh yeah, I'm recovering still. Whatever.
I stand with Cam because how many drafts have these two boys put Midsommar in the top 3 of something?
Where it
wasn't in the horror one, was it?
It's
I don't
4,
think so.
I think.
Exactly.
Oh.
Spirits. That's spiritual
Danny,
in the top 3 to me.
Danny, you've got 9.
Top 3. I've got 9. Wow. How do I follow up that? That was a hell of a circus act to follow, Cam.
We're an hour and 40 minutes in and we haven't cracked the top half of this list yet.
At least we got some powers out of the way there.
This is why I'm encouraging us to be collaborative. We'd move much swifter if we just agreed.
No, I don't like collaborative.
What do you
The truth finally comes out from Ben. He's like, fuck collaborative.
No way.
You want me to start listing movies and then you pick which one you want?
Yeah, let's just let you pick the next 9.
Open-ended voting.
You can send us your list if you want. We'll just read it off.
Okay, well, you're right. Like you feel like you're stepping in a field of landmines here because if
Mhm.
you play something that you think is like a 5-star masterpiece, it might not be even respected amongst this group at this
Mhm.
point. So
Sure.
this is tough. Okay. I feel like it's too early for me to break out like a surefire bet, like a movie that needs to
I
be.
I disagree. I think
You
now's the time.
disagree? Now's the
I
time to
think we
like
I
pull
think we
trig
all
on.
have to start pulling surefire bets right now.
Ethan's tired of my shenanigans, and so he's just like, just give us one that we can talk about and move on.
No, I just want to make sure the movies I want are on this list.
Well,
Okay.
I feel like one of those is in Danny's surefire bets. That's why I'm curious.
I'm tempted to play one, but I do think Ethan is going to be all over that at either 7 or honestly maybe 3. So I think I'm going to leave that to him because I know he likes it a little bit more than I do, even though I'm quite high on it. So I'm going to
This
avoid
is Tusk,
that
right?
one. Yeah. No, sorry, Dick's the musical is what I was.
Yeah, Dick's the musical.
This is
Dude,
really
Megan the
tricky.
Stallions part in Dick's the musical is lights out. Should have been nominated. Incredible stuff.
I don't know. I don't know how to handle this at all.
I would say
I'm at a
handle
loss.
it with grace and dignity, and that's all you can ask for.
Wow. Any advice from the crowd, Ben, Ethan? Any advice?
Dude, at this point, I'm fucking lost. Like,
No,
I have no idea what's happening.
I don't know what's happening. You just got to play something good. You got to play a real top tier A24 movie here. Don't dig around.
There's one movie I'm really tempted to play, but I think it's too small to like deserve a 9 spot.
No. You should play it.
That was weirdly confident. There's just no way that we're talking about the same movie.
There's no way
Maybe.
you've seen this, bro. Come on.
Maybe.
Just do it, man.
Under the
Veto's
Silver
allowed.
Lake's still on the board. You could do it.
Okay, fuck it. You know what? We're here to have some fun. I'm gonna play.
No, we're not. We're here to make the right list. We're here to work together. We're not here to have fun.
We're here to have fun. Let it rip.
If it wants to get vetoed, if you want to veto it, you can veto it. But I'm gonna play After Yang by Koganada.
Yes. Huge
Just
stuff for the team here.
Array of reactions.
Okay, tell us about this movie for a second. Would you?
All right, so it follows a family who has an android named Yang, who malfunctions, and the family is trying to repair him. And through that process, they kind of reconnect with what it means to be human and connect with each other as people. And I find it to be quite a brilliant film. I think it's a 5-star masterpiece.
This, to me, it's kind of funny you play this after Cam played Waves, because for me, these are both 5 or 4-star movies that I never want to see again. Like, they're really good, but I'm just like, I don't need to watch this again. Like, after being like, it's fine, it's got a cool dance scene, but like, I don't know. I mean, number 9's wild, but you know,
I
follow
love
your
this
heart.
movie.
You
I
have a
love this
veto,
movie.
Ben. You can veto it.
That's very.
I
you
got
gotta
2 more
veto
Ethan
too,
picks
Ethan.
coming up, man.
No,
Like,
what? You don't have to worry about me. You don't have to worry about me at all.
I'll laugh after Yang slide. We need Colin Farrell on here.
Shout out to Haley Lou Richardson. That's all I'll say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Koganada, where have you been since this? I don't truly believe you made Big Bold Beautiful Journey. That wasn't you. That was a cyborg.
I'm telling
That
you,
was
his episode of The Acolyte, best one out there. Incredible stuff.
Haven't seen that program.
Koganada's new movie that premiered at Sundance, Z. Pretty good. I liked it.
Better than Big Bold Beautiful Journey.
Hard not
no.
to be.
I haven't seen it, yeah. I like After Yang for the A24-ness. I like the Kogonada pick. I like that it's kind of an underappreciated, underseen movie within the A24 catalog. We get a dancing sequence on the board, which I think A24 has kind of cornered the market on dancing sequences in their films. I think it's a win. I'm good.
Okay.
I need to
Wow.
revisit it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in a while.
No vetoes?
No,
Not on this side, brother.
Ben said he's worried about me, which I don't understand that, to be honest. But that's a him problem. That's not a me problem.
Just going off history, that's all.
Okay. So Cam has a veto left. I got a veto left. And Ben, you have a veto and a veto override.
Yeah.
Okay. Danny's got nothing. After Yang sticks at 9. A good zag.
Let's go.
A good zag.
It's a zag for sure.
Okay, Ben.
All right. Top half bangers only.
Top half. Bangers only.
I don't know that Ethan's gonna love this here, but
That's a
it
great
needs to be
preface
on
to a
the
pick.
list. I feel. So I'm going to be playing After Sun.
Okay, just breathe. We'll get through this together, guys.
It's a 5-star movie for me.
Why so low?
I only have 2 spots left, so I'm going to play 2 5-star movies. Like I don't know if you guys are going to play it or not, you know? So
You didn't want to get collaborative? You didn't want to like test the waters?
No, never. Never. Yeah, no, I mean, you know how I feel about this movie, Ethan. Like I've talked about it multiple times on here. It became your favorite movie of 2022, and I was just kind of shocked by that. I watched it. It hit me the next day. I started crying at work. So I was like, oh my God, that's actually like a perfect movie. It's beautiful. So yeah, it's a movie that you just shouldn't watch in public, in my opinion. But yeah, about a father and a daughter, and the father's depressed, and it's just like the daughter reliving that trip. I don't know. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. It's gut wrenching, and I think it belongs on the list. I think it's low, but again, I've learned not to trust other people to play it later, so I just want to make sure it's on the list. So.
Okay. I think that's fair. I would prefer it much higher. Cam and Danny, where are you guys at on After Sun?
I've got it at a 4 out of 5. It's not one that I think about too often, so it wouldn't probably make my list. But as you know, I don't feel a lot of things, and so this movie is a big feeler, and so that I think that has a lot to do. I think I acknowledge that. I understand why it connects with a lot of people, but it just doesn't for me. But I respect that it is good, and Paul Mescal is great. So like I have no qualms with it being here. I just personally don't connect with it very much.
This is the one I was referring to, Ethan, where I was tempted, but I figured you'd be all over it at one of your higher slots.
Yeah, I would have if Ben didn't play it here. I think for the safety of the board, I think we should stick at 8. I think it's actually a really smart play. Easily one of the coolest nominations of all time. Not of all time, but like at least in the 21st century for the Academy, nominating Paul Mescal here. And I hope whatever Charlotte Wells and Frankie Corio are doing next, I hope they work together, and I hope it's phenomenal. After Sun's perfect movie. Perfect movie. Okay. We're going to keep it here.
Nice.
Let's go.
2 movies with after in the title right next to each other. Fascinating.
For a split second, when Danny said After Yang, I was like, oh, he's going to take it. I don't have to play After Sun. Great.
You're good to go. Okay. I've got 7. And I feel like I need there's a movie I know that Ben will hopefully play. It's a 5-star movie for Ben. There's also a movie that's a 5-star movie for me that is not a 5-star movie for Ben. But it is for Danny.
What is it for? What about me? Have I seen it?
I actually don't know how you feel about this movie, Cam.
All right.
So I kind of have to do a little bit of thinking here. And I got to be careful of Ben's veto. Got to be careful of the veto. So I'm going to be playing. I'll just play it here just for safety's measure. I'm going to be playing Uncut Gems at number 7.
Okay.
This is my personal favorite A24 movie. This is obviously Adam
Whoa.
Sandler as Howie Ratner in New York City. He's a jeweler and he makes a bad bet and owes some bad people some money, and then finds a stone that sees into his soul and bets on Kevin Garnett to win a bunch of money. Great Lakeith Stanfield performance. I think great Julia Fox performance here. One of the all-time great in the lineage of movies about Jews. I think incredible stuff here that they're having wondrous conversations at Passover. This is my favorite A24 movie, but I gotta have it on the board, and I gotta clear some safety space for the top 6.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm into it. Like, this is one of the sickest endings to any movie ever.
Of all time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think it might be the best athlete in a movie performance.
Yeah.
Like, KG is, I think, really good in this. So
he's really good in this movie.
Not everyone is cut out for it, but I think KG does a great job. So yeah. I mean, I thought this was gonna be your number 3, but I get it. Get on the list.
Yeah. I have other plans for 3.
Cool.
Zag a little bit here.
I like it.
Danny, Cam, where you guys at on Uncut Gems?
Big fan.
Big fan.
Love this movie. I think that it improves on a lot of what the Safdie brothers do. A lot of continuation of themes and energies in their films, and I think that this really improves on. I really like Good Time as well, but I think this improves on it. And I do like that it's not just one night. It's kind of like an overarching story and gives a little more insight and characterization into it. It proves that they are able to do something that's not just a pure like energized vibe of a night, and they can it expands their filmmaking capabilities. And I mean, Sandler, what are we doing not nominating him for this?
Wild.
Terrible.
Yeah, I think it falls in that category that Ben was also describing of 4-star movie for me. I'm not mad about it. I think it's if you're in the hive of Uncut Gems, I have no issue with putting it on the list. It's just not quite there for me. It's still a movie I really like, though.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the Furby tattooed on my arm, so I'm a fan. I'll keep it here.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Uncut Gems, number 7. Wow. It's a little painless.
Not bad.
Moving right on through. Moving right on through. Okay.
Easier.
Well, so far.
And Cameron's up, so it's veto time. Let's go.
Veto time. Let's go. Oh, man.
Oh, I do have
Cameron,
another
your
veto.
last
That's
ride
true.
was tumultuous. So
Yeah.
let's see what
Welcome back in
know.
the saddle.
I don't know what to do, man.
I'm concerned because you have 6 and you have the 2 pick. If you're having this much trouble at 10 and 6, number 2 is going to be an absolute fucking crapshoot.
Well, I have plans for number 2. Don't you worry about that.
Okay. All right.
White Noise.
I wish. No, I think we're gonna go with what I think is the best Ari Aster film. We're gonna go with Eddington here.
Holy
yes. This is huge.
This is one that I
shit.
think I watched it 2 or 3 times within a week, and just every fucking day it just keeps getting better and exonerated every single day. And by Danny's reaction, I can really tell he agrees.
Just a shocking series of words to come out of Cameron's mouth.
You're out on Eddington, Danny?
I don't know. I like the ideas of Eddington more than the movie of Eddington, and they're ideas that I think should be talked about more. I just don't know that this was the most successful way to talk about those ideas, and that's where I struggle with it.
Okay.
Well,
so it seems like you're a Joe Cross supporter. Seems like you're a big Joe Cross guy.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had a veto, I probably would play it.
Oh man!
Wow. What?
Ben, how do you feel about it? Because you're kind of the opinion that matters here, because Ethan's not going to veto it.
Hell no, I'm not going to veto it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's good. Like, I like Eddington. 6 is fucking wild. Like
6 is crazy.
crazy
but
to me.
This happens every single time we collab draft. We hit a point where we're just like 10. That's fucking crazy. And it's like, guys, we had 6 spots. You could have put it in the bottom 6. It's got to go
wild.
somewhere.
No,
It's Samar at 10
Yeah.
and Eddington at 6.
To you, for you and me, it does have to go somewhere.
Okay.
For these jabronis, it doesn't.
Cam, we got to stick. We got to stick, dude.
I'm
It's
not
a
doing
great
anything about
pick.
it.
This is a great pick.
Cam,
Ben,
I don't know what to do with you, dude. You either present a movie that I've given 2.5 or lower, or one of my all-time favorites, and you're all over the map for me.
the duality of man, dude. Come
Pin
on,
him down. Yeah. I'm not going to veto it.
Ben.
Ben, I think you might want to consider it here.
Think about
let's
this
veto
fallout.
it.
Oh, I wasn't even done like campaigning.
That took
I had
very little
more-
convincing, and that makes
I
me
had
really
more
sad.
in the tank.
So,
If this was a bottom half, I'd leave it.
Okay.
But like top
So-
6 is wild.
Cam, we got a sidebar when we get to 3 and 2. We have a lot of power, dude.
I,
You and I, we have this collaborative draft in a fucking chokehold.
my
can-
plans are working out perfectly. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now.
Was he trying to draw a veto?
I,
By
I,
being the most
I was
polarizing movie?
like, I will admit, I wasn't trying to draw a veto, but I thought it might be like slight veto bait. And I have single-handedly engaged three vetoes.
He
One
veto
from
baited.
one from each contributor here, and I'm the only. No, Ethan has a veto left too. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is what happens when you're on collab drafts all the time. You're the smartest one here now. You're thinking 10 steps ahead.
I have to after the shit you pulled on Tom Hanks.
I don't think either of you have the guts to play it at 2 or 3. That's why I vetoed it. I don't think it's going to go higher.
Ethan, yeah.
Fair.
I was gonna say like, I don't know.
That's
he
why I
could
wouldn't
already-
veto it at like 10 or below. Because I'm like, oh, they might play a higher.
There,
But like,
yeah.
I cannot see a world where either of you use your top pick on this movie.
It's pretty smart of Ben to veto it here because once we do get to 2-3 territory, it's like if my movie's not played, I have to play it or it's not going to make the list.
But also,
Or you're just really
like,
going to
two-
commit to the
two
bit
of the-
and play Eddington. Like, we'll see what
You know I can
happens.
commit to a bit.
I
That's true.
know. I'm
True.
worried, but yeah.
Yeah,
what
let's
makes
see
me
what's really
nervous is
low
that
on my
2 of
list.
Ethan's movies that he would have played at 3 have been played. Like Midsummer
Yeah.
and After Sun, he would have played at 3.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's got a lot.
I mean, Cam's got to pick again.
Per usual, here we go.
I want him to play something that Ethan vetoes.
I'm gonna go something. At least in my mind, it's a little safe. I hope and pray. I'm gonna go with a little movie called Lady Bird. It might be higher for a lot of folks, I'm sure, but I think it deserves a place on this list. It is one of my comfort movies, because it is short, but also because it is one of the few things that I just there's something about the mom relationship in that I can relate to a lot, and so it just there's something about this movie, and for me personally, but I also just think Saoirse Ronan, Timothy Chalamet, Tracy Letts, Laurie Metcalf, Lucas Hedges. I mean, all these people are incredible, and I mean, it's hard to forget their rendition of "Merrily We Roll Along" in the movie. I think it's hard to ignore how great that is. But no, I really love Lady Bird, and let's hear the haters rise now.
This is an impeachable pick. I've not
Yeah.
met
Wow.
a single soul out there who's like, can't stand Lady Bird.
I saw a woman get absolutely wine drunk on a flight and sob her eyes out at this
Fuck
movie,
yeah.
and that is just the beauty of cinema to me.
I like it.
We love to see
Yeah.
movies winning. Yeah.
This checks a box of like one of the ones that I just couldn't physically leave off if I had to fight to the death.
Yeah.
Would you all personally have waited to put it higher?
No, I think this is a solid spot, honestly. I think
Number
yeah,
six.
I think it belongs.
That was good.
It was in my short list of to play right now at 5. So
Okay. Yeah. Lady Bird's great. One of the all-time heaters. As Ben so eloquently said, bangers only from now on.
Bangers only.
That's where
Who
we're
the
at.
fuck is on top? They're their first time. I love that line.
Great Tracy Letts performance as well. Shout out is Larry in this movie. It's great to
Good
have.
stuff. All right, Danny,
Okay.
top 5.
Danny,
Top
take us into the
5.
promised land.
Oh boy. Okay. Take us to the promised land. Wow. Would be crazy if I had said the title that I was thinking about playing immediately after those words. That would have been terrible for clip.
Oh God.
Clipping.
Okay.
Okay, I'm between two, and they're totally different movies. Like, couldn't be more different. And
You said different twice. Are you alluding to a secret code here?
I'm not.
Okay. Just double
I'm
checking that a
tempted
different
to lay
man was
them
not going to
both.
be here.
I'm tempted, in the spirit of collaboration, to lay them both on a table and see what the vibe is. How do we feel about that?
Are you like going back and forth between 5 and 1, or are you going back and forth between one of these being at 5 and the other not making the list?
That.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm happy to hear and give my honest and unfettered thoughts.
let's collaborate.
I feel
This
like,
is-
you know
this-
what? Let's collaborate at number 5, the first time in the draft. Let's.
Three positions ago, we were all like, fuck collaboration. We ride for ourselves. So I just want to put that out there.
I feel like I zagged a little bit with After Yang. I'll
Yeah,
admit.
you did.
I'm between Zone of Interest and Past Lives.
Wow. Just remarkably similar films.
The Promised Land. Is that
Is that what that was going to be? The
I literally almost said, take us to the promised land, Zone of Interest.
Jesus Christ.
I will say I had a buffalo chicken pizza at the Alamo during both of these films, so
Okay.
similar viewing experiences.
That's
for your boy.
deranged, Cam. That's crazy.
That is
I was a
deranged
hungry
behavior.
boy.
I would vote Past Lives. I think Past Lives has to be in this top 5.
That's probably where I would land as well. But I feel like we're all gonna vote for something, and Danny's gonna just go the other way.
Me
so.
too. I think we're all going to say Past Lives, and he's going to be like, great. That's affirmation for Zone.
I'm just gonna tell you to follow your heart.
Wow, Ben.
Ben, you're so strategically savvy. I really admire it.
I can't wait to see where this goes, honestly.
my thinking is, I think both could very well be worthy and deserving of a top 5 spot.
Mhm.
I think they're very different in the like catalog or like tier of importance within A24's catalog for like totally different reasons. Whereas like Past Lives is like the perfect encapsulation of a new filmmaker doing like this intimate character drama work that just worked on just every level. And then Zone of Interest is like this totally different zone. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. That A24 started to operate in with like more sprawling, epic international fare, right? Like it feels like the Past Lives is the pinnacle of what they got really good at, and Zone of Interest is like this demarcator of something new in their ecosystem. And I don't know which is more deserving of a top 5 spot to me.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think both applicable. I mean, they're both Academy Award nominated films.
Yeah. One's a winner. Zone of Interest is a winner.
Okay. Felt a little unjust and jaded, but that's okay. One of them's a winner.
I'll play Past Lives. I'm going to play Past Lives at 5. And I just want it to be known that if Zone of Interest doesn't make an appearance, I think it probably was deserving.
Okay.
Cool.
Not going to make an appearance. Okay, going for Past Lives.
Let's go.
I think this is the right pick here.
Great movie. Love it. One of my only 2 5-star A24 films.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Ben and I share very similar sentiment about Past Lives. This is one of the movies earlier where I was like, I'm pretty sure Ben's going to circle back to this if nobody else does. Our sad boy, John Magaro.
Mm-hmm.
Saddest boy of them all, man. We seen Omaha? Come on.
I haven't seen Omaha yet. Does Omaha have a distributor?
I've
Exactly.
gotten emails about it.
That's
I've
why
gotten
I haven't
emails
seen
about
it
it.
yet. 5-star masterpiece.
I just watched it
Past
the other day, if that counts for anything.
Greenwich and Entertainment Distributor.
Do you guys want to hear? You just want to hear one of these popular reviews for Past Lives? It says, "Found a
sure.
version without subtitles to get the full Arthur experience."
That's great stuff.
That's incredible work.
I
love
didn't
Letterboxd.
describe anything about Past Lives, but
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
directed by Celine Song
Yeah.
and the reconnecting of childhood friends Nora and Hae Sung in New York, and confronting these ideas of destined romantic partnerships versus what sort of just kind of happens in life.
Yeah. I mentioned my event that I went to last night with Carrie Brownstein and Fred Armisen. They got asked a question at the very end: who is a contemporary filmmaker that you're following? And Carrie Brownstein's answer was Celine Song. She said both Past Lives and Materialists are so different in their subtext, but so like unified in what Celine Song is trying to communicate about the things she cares about, that is the one contemporary filmmaker that she is like really locked in on. And I thought that was a very cool answer. And I love to see Past Lives represented. R.I.P. Materialists. We recognize you forever and always, but Past Lives is the right answer.
Materialists would be in my top 16. Don't worry.
Me too. Okay.
This is my second favorite A24 movie. I was about to play it at 4, but I didn't want to influence you either way. So I guess it just opens up spot 4 for something weird. Unless you guys want to veto it, but yeah.
No, I can't risk that. We all have one more pick. Ben, you got 4. I got 3. Cam 2. Danny, you're gonna get 1.
Mm-hmm.
With having said that, I know that we don't want to be collaborative, even though it's the namesake of the draft, and I totally respect that decision. I have a very important question though that I need to field because it's going to directly impact this top 4. Can I ask this question? Are you guys open to?
You can ask anything you want.
I just laid out my whole plan on the line.
It's up to us to answer. You're free to ask.
Sure, right. I knew what Ben was getting at here. Okay, so Danny, you mentioned that you finished the movie 30 minutes before recording this episode.
Oof. Oh boy.
Can I just I need to test the waters. Are we going to talk about this movie? Is this something that I should be worried about?
Honestly, I totally forgot that this was in play, even though I just watched it, and I was commissioned to watch it for this episode.
You were held at gunpoint virtually by both Cam and I to watch this movie before this draft. Can I say? I'll say the movie name. We're talking about First Reformed. Horrific film.
You can't just throw horror in there just to try to get your point. It's not a horror movie.
Thoughts? First public opinions here, or are you going to keep that close?
I wouldn't put it in the top 4. I'll say that much.
Damn it, we fucked up, Cameron.
Nice.
We fucked up, brother. Shit. All right, no, that's actually incredibly valuable information. I appreciate that. And you're wrong, but that's okay.
If you think I was going to play First Reformed on 30 minutes of hindsight at number 1,
I was hoping you were transfixed.
We can hope, right? We can hope for the best.
I tried to put a movie I watched 2 days ago on here. You know, anything is possible.
Anything can be done. Okay, Ben, kick us off. Final round here.
Nazi punks, fuck off. We're playing Green Room at number 4.
Oh boy. Oh Lord. Oh wow.
I love this
Danny
movie.
being the only person that's
Evil Patrick Stewart, just elite. I love it. Anton Yelchin, Imogen Poots, punk rock band has to play a show because they need gas money, and it turns out they're playing in a Nazi bar, and hijinks ensue. So that's Green Room, and
very young Callum Turner in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like this movie, and I stand with people who say, fuck Nazi punks. I stand with that. I really do.
Yeah, can't argue with that sentiment.
I can't argue with that at all. I'm going to veto this movie.
Okay.
Did you know that he was going to do that?
It's barely in my top 100 of my A24 ranked list.
Whoa. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Makes
Cool.
sense.
The thing about you, Ben, that you know that you hold this power over me is you're this enigma of it, like unimpeachability. You don't react how I want you to, and it drives me insane. And you know this.
And that's why our relationship thrives like so hard. I love it.
It's exactly why.
Okay.
In doing so, though, I will say I have opened the gates for weirder shit, which could come back. And
That's
not
very
be
true.
good.
Yeah. There's probably a movie I should play, but the movie that I'm gonna play is something different, I think. This might, Ethan, you talked about like A24 having their people or whatever.
Yeah.
This might turn into that for them. I don't know. They've done a couple now. We'll see what happens with number 3. But I'm gonna go with "Talk to Me" by the Flupa Brothers.
Wow.
Yeah, really good movie.
Let's all breathe together. It's okay.
We're all good. Yeah, basically like this whatever embalmed hand, when you put your hand on it and say "talk to me," just gets into this like these supernatural world or something like that. It's fucking wild. One of the best like needle drops, I think, during their montage in there. I love this movie. I didn't love is it Bring Her Back, right? Like I didn't love that one as much, but I really, really like Talk to Me quite a bit. And Sophie Wilde is fantastic in it. So I don't know. It's like newer, I guess. It's like 4 years old or something, but it's interesting. I think, you guys talk about it with Obsession and with Backrooms. So we have these people coming from YouTube going into feature films, and that's where these guys came from. And they did it 4 years ago. So I don't know if they like set the path, but I think they were early on it. So I think it kind of represents what A24 is right now. So yeah, talk to me.
Yeah. I think in terms of representing A24 as well, this to me was their first big acquisition out of Sundance. This was a big deal when they acquired this out of Sundance in 2022. It was like they made a behind the scenes doc about it, and you could see their reaction, and they did a great push for a summer release. It became like the horror movie of the summer. This was a remarkable, like A24 found the right movie and did the right things to make it successful kind of a story. So on that front, I think this is a great pick. I like this movie a lot. Number 4, not so much, but Ben, I love that you play with your heart. That makes
That's what
me
I'm
happy.
here to do. Yeah.
As the only person that can do anything about this, Ethan, Danny, I just need some advice here. If we veto this, is this just going to get worse, or
it'll get worse. Yeah.
All right, let's just.
I'm suddenly feeling pretty good about Green Room.
No, this is better than Green Room.
This is better than Green Room.
This is better than Green Room for sure.
I have a Green Room at a 3.5 and Talk to Me at a 3.
I think,
but I can't do anything.
I think
so
you should reevaluate.
It really doesn't mean anything.
You should seek help.
I think, Cam, for the purposes of this draft, you need to retain your veto for some sort of assurance at number 1.
For basically me?
Yeah.
You think you're that
you
worried
have
about
to have
me
a fallback. No, I didn't say I'm worried about you. I just said you have to have a fallback in place just in case. Just in case.
Cam,
I think it would be a fool's errand to enter number 1 with no safety net. That's all I'm saying.
Danny, I already know you're not going to do what I'm going to do.
You don't need to worry, though.
See? But people like that, those are the people you got to worry about. Don't worry about it. Come on.
I don't think that I am okay with seeing Danny with unlimited power. So I'm going to retain my... We'll keep
real
it...
Real Emperor Palpatine vibes.
Yes. Good stuff. All right, we'll just keep rolling then, I suppose.
Okay. Talk to me at number 4.
I will keep my sweet little veto.
Yeah. As you should, I think.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Great. Talk to me. Super cool movie. That's at number 4. Okay.
I want to rewatch it. I do want to see it again.
I think it's pretty good. At number 3, I'm going to be playing Eddington. This movie has to be on this list.
Oh my fucking god! What the fuck is going on right now? Like literally, what the fuck? What the fuck?
So-
like, what am I?
This movie.
I'm gonna have a stroke. I'm gonna have a
Let's-
stroke.
So I'll take a beat. Let's just hold on.
Oh,
This movie has to be on
Cam's
this
the
list.
only one who can do anything
This-
about it, and he's not because he played it.
This to me is an evolution of what A24 sees in their filmmakers, Ari Aster being the primary filmmaker at that. I think to take such a, I guess, timely idea of these data centers and COVID and all of these things and put it into a pseudo Western while Katy Perry's Firework is playing.
Mm.
There's one person on the planet that could do that, and that's Ari Aster in A24. And that, I don't know what else you want. You know, I rewatched this movie in preparation for this draft. As good, if not better, than I remember it being. It is a completely lights out film from start to finish. It's so eerie, guys. It's so good.
I love this movie. I'm happy to see it even higher than I would have had it. Thrilled.
I think it's important for our list too to have an incredibly divisive A24 film in the top 3. A24 has become synonymous with divisive movies.
Mhm.
Even this year, you have The Drama, a movie that a lot of people really loved, and I couldn't really stand at all.
I'm playing it.
You
at
got
one.
12 5-star movies, and you're going with your 4.5 star. That's wild. But you do love a bit.
Oh man.
I would be unable to sleep tonight knowing Eddington wasn't
We're not gonna
available for the
escape
public list.
the internet on this one.
I
Well-
look forward to engaging with all the kind listeners of this podcast.
I think, I think we got a lot of open-minded people out there. You know,
no
especially when it comes
haters.
to list making.
Yeah, they know and love the art of list making. They really enjoy it.
Okay,
Ethan,
Keem,
can I,
you got number
can I,
2.
can I make a comment? Can I ask a question? Do you have anything
Sure.
else? on your
Comment or a
mind?
question?
Did you have anything else on your mind about number 3, or was this as soon as it was vetoed that was you were staring dead center?
Right down the barrel of Joe Cross's rifle, or his sniper gun. I could have very well played my actual number 3 on my list, which is not on this board. Thought about it, and then I was like, no, I gotta have my boy Joe Cross on the board. It just
Who
was
vetoed it at 6?
Ben.
I did.
Ben. Yeah,
Yeah.
this comes back to Ben.
Comes back to
Wow.
I don't know. I love Eddington too much. What can I say? You know?
I do like that you were giving Cam shit earlier for recency bias, and you watched this like a week ago. You're like, yeah, this belongs number 3.
I bumped it up significantly on my personal rankings after
That's
I
good.
rewatched it. It's in my top 16. It's just not number 3, but
That's okay. I'm
Okay, Cam.
I'm honored to have it here.
give us number 2.
All right.
He's gonna play it. Like I know what he's gonna play.
What do you think that is, sir?
He's got
You said
he
you have-
essentially has unlimited power.
You said you
Mhm.
have. Yeah, you do. You said you had 2 5-star movies. One of them's on the list.
I had thought about trolling and just redoing Under the Silver Lake, but I would be heartbroken to have there's no path to defeat for me here to put First Reformed at number 2.
Yes.
It is legitimately
Well done, Cameron.
Where's my phone? Turn off sleep mode. We're awake here, brother. Don't read my text. I have Ethan Hawke from this film as my background on my phone.
Wow.
And have had it for years and years. And people are like, hey, why don't you have, I don't know, your wife on there? I'm like, well, she wasn't there for me at that time. And now she is. But no, I love this movie. There's obviously some weird Paul Schrader stuff going on in the world, but I would say that this is one of the first.
The way you just glance over that, and if you're not super plugged into the Schraderverse, you have no clue that he had an AI girlfriend.
Just
Wild.
go look it up. Just go look at his Facebook. He's not well. I saw him fall asleep multiple times at NIF this year. Don't worry, he's all right. But This I would say that this was one of the first movies where I was really getting into movies in 2018 and 19 that kind of transfixed me in a way. And I grew up in a religious background, still kind of rock with that. Um, but I do think that this movie just talks a lot about the realness uh of wrestling with faith and what it means and faith and science and how they can and sometimes are not congruent with each other and corporations and environmentalism. I just think that it is a really cool movie about Ethan Hawke, a priest who is kind of just living out his days in a propped up historical church with like four people that come
Yeah.
to it regularly, and he is just transformed and takes his faith into a form of like I am not thinking of the word. I want to say athleticism. That's not what I mean. Activism. There we go. He
That is
Very
takes it
similar,
to
of course.
another A word. He takes it into a form of activism, and he just really wrestles with the things that he's believed and the things that
Yeah.
are going on. And I also really love it takes bits from this old book, and it was a French film, I believe, as well, the Diary of a Country Priest. Writing in the journal I've read that book. Him writing in the journal just speaks a lot of what I think and have thought about prayer and how I relate with God. And so that's a little way more personal of a pick for me, but I really am just fascinated with it and its filmmaking as well. It has a lot of really cool camera work where there's a ton of uncomfortably still shots that just
Yeah.
sit there with the person for a really long time, and it just never really moves, even if it's not a good angle of like what you would normally see in a movie. I love this movie to death. And it's my number 2 movie of all time. And so I'm happy to have it number 2 on this list.
Wow. Yeah. This movie's is almost as good as it gets.
Cool.
Any other thoughts? Or
I don't know. I can't follow up like your super personal attachment to this movie, but for me, this is
you
like a
can
three.
shit on it and I will feel nothing.
No,
It's
it
like
was
it
Ben,
for me.
it was
it's-
Ben and I deadlocked in a stalemate of like
Who wanted to speak first?
I don't know. I gave it 3 stars. Ethan Hawke is Ethan Hawke. You know what I mean? He's a good actor, so like
Goated.
he's great.
Yeah.
So,
When are we doing Cedric the Entertainer collaborative draft? You know,
the original
First-
Kings of Comedy, man, number 1.
first born Madagascar.
Yeah, I don't know. Cool. Danny, what do you think?
like I said, I watched this. I finished the movie. Well, we've been recording for 2 hours and 25 minutes, so about 2 hours and 27 minutes ago. I definitely haven't had a chance to fully process it. It's one of those movies, and Cam and Ethan know about this, that is thematically something that I do care about really deeply, and so it gets recommended to me a lot. And those kinds of movies scare me because I feel like it builds an expectation, and I don't like going into movies with that kind of expectation because it almost feels like you can only be let down.
Mhm.
So I was nervous to watch it for a really long time, and I do think I like it. I need some more time to sit with it, but I think the questions it asks are really important ones that are kind of even more important and relevant now than they were in what was this 2017. And I think where I'm like held back is this like late stage Paul Schrader, the style that he films with is just, I just can't fully connect with it, I find. And this still exhibits a lot of that, a lot of those issues that I had with like Card Counter, Master Gardener.
Yeah.
I'm just stylistically struggle with it at times.
Mhm.
all
but
5-star bangers, by the way.
Wow. That's
yeah,
Wow.
there are things the short of it, I love parts of it, but I'm not totally convinced yet.
well. You should get convinced because it's number 2, and you're
It's
gonna
number
have to
2.
stand by that.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear a movie that you are convinced is actually number one in the A24 Collaborative Draft. Here, Danny.
Yeah.
Send us home. Send us to the actual promised land, which is dinner for me.
Yeah, hopefully not something that makes me want to strap a bomb to my chest. Let's see what we got.
No, just barbed wire.
Just
after all this
wire,
anticipation, Danny, can you tell us your heart rate right now? Like, what are we feeling?
Yeah, where are we at?
Well, I guess I could probably like look that up, right? Yeah,
I mean,
somewhere on here.
If you want to take that literally, but
I'm at a crossroads because I basically boiled it down to 2 movies, and I was hoping someone would play one of them at 2 or 3.
Yeah,
and that didn't happen.
You put
I think I know one of your 2 movies.
You've got to like. There's
if it's that one, I think
know
that's
each other well enough where you've got to be thinking of the movie I'm thinking of.
That one has to be played, in my opinion. But I don't know what the other one is.
I agree, but the other one is just, it's almost like just a devastating blow that it doesn't exist on this list because it's a total game changer.
Can't take everybody with us.
Legacy. I've got to play I Saw the TV Glow because for me, it's the best movie that A24 has ever made. And that was pretty much the only thing I ever wanted to play at number 1. So I got to stick to my guns on that. Unfortunately, that means Moonlight doesn't land on the top 16 movies of A24, which I find to be troubling. But
because I played Eddington instead at 3, or what? Where did we go wrong on that one?
It's really hard to movie here. It's really hard to say who's to blame for any of these decisions, any of these misses.
I could have played it at 9.
True.
Probably should have. Probably should have.
You have seen Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, right? This is Jane Schoenbrun's next film.
I have.
Pretty good.
I did love it. It doesn't reach quite the heights of I Saw the TV Glow because it's not as interested in emotional interiority to the same level that I Saw the TV Glow is. It has so much more on its mind about genre, about slashers, about like telling a meta story within all of that. So there are other goals at hand, but I Saw the TV Glow follows Owen, a teenager in the suburbs, and he meets his classmate Maddie, who introduces him to this TV show, and it talks a lot about how media is intertwined with our identities. In a lot of ways, a trans allegory from Jane Schoenbrun's lived experience. And to me, like, this is as close to a perfect movie as you can possibly exist. I think it is like expressing its own version of filmmaking language in a way that just nobody else has ever told a story in that way.
What I think is the most important takeaway from this being at number 1 is that we have all collectively, whether publicly facing or not, agreed that a Conor O'Malley film is the best A24 movie. And that is something I can really get behind.
Hell yeah.
What was the other one?
Friendship would be the other A24 Conor O'Malley.
I was really close to playing that.
Which I wouldn't have minded on this list.
If we were just doing scenes, I think that would have made the list.
Yeah,
for sure.
A24 scenes. Oh, that's a good A24 scenes collaborative draft. There we go. There's the next one. Ben, how do you feel about this?
The top 3 picks here, I feel like, are the second half of the Brutalist to me. I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, let me go eat. This is crazy. Top 3. This is insane. Like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah,
that means we've done something here today. We've achieved something.
I haven't disliked. It's funny. I think for Danny and I, we bookended this with something that the other person cannot stand.
How about that?
Oh yeah.
Because this movie is just like, whatever, cool. Let's move on. I don't know. I just don't. This movie's fine. Like, it looks cool, but yeah.
Well, Cam still has a veto.
That's true.
Knowing that you would play, I prefer this movie over Moonlight. So knowing that,
if you vetoed it, I would play Moonlight,
and I would be fine with either. But of the 2, I prefer this one. So
a personal attack on the trans community if you veto this. Don't do it.
Well, that's the end of that. No vetoes played now.
Once again, my name is not listed on the graphic. It is
That's true. Well, I'm gonna do my very best on our trip to LA, Ben. I'm gonna actually live stream. We're gonna watch I Saw the TV Glow 8 times in a row. One day that we're in LA together. So
Hell yeah.
tune in. That'll be on the Patreon page for that. We have completed the A24 Collaborative Draft here on the Movie Draft Podcast. It started in one direction and ended in another, and I think we've achieved something, if not complete and utter disarray and hunger from all participants. So I'm going to read the list, and we'll do quick honorable mentions if we have any, and we'll get out of here. At 16, Spring Breakers. At 15, Civil War. At 14, The Green Knight. At 13, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. At 12, The Iron Claw. At 11, The Brutalist. 10, Midsommar. 9, After Yang. Probably the biggest sneak of the draft, in my opinion. Number 8, After Sun. Number 7, Uncut Gems. 6, Lady Bird. 5, Past Lives. 4, Talk to Me. 3, Eddington. 2, First Reformed. And number 1, the best A24 movie, I Saw the TV Glow. I feel good about this list. I feel like it is deranged enough to represent our inadequacy as podcast hosts and cinephiles. And that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. We all feel just totally fine.
Wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Wouldn't change a thing. Okay. Well, sounds good, guys. I am proud of our work here today. Sing Sing is in my personal top 16, and Stop Making Sense did not get mentioned on this list either. I thought a little gray zone because the distribution of that film.
I'd say that's a black zone where you shouldn't count personally, but well, we'll have to save it for another A24 draft. Massive thank you to Cameron and Danny for joining this draft. Cameron, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at? They can find me on most platforms at Cameron Ritter 35, on Letterboxd at Cameron 35, and on the Fan Run Sports Podcast Network, the Fan Run Movie Podcast. I believe we do episodes every Tuesday. So
love it.
Nice.
Danny, what about you? If people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
You can find me hosting our weekly show over at the Rolling Tape every Monday. You can find me personally at DTJ Cinema on Twitter and at Danny Jarabek everywhere else.
Ben, thanks for potting, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I had a good time. This was fun.
Yeah, this was a good time. I'm sorry that Green Room didn't make the list, and I feel personally responsible because I did veto that. Thank you to Sophie for co-creating this podcast as well with Ben and I. Next week on the pod, we're heading to the year 2007. We're going to do a little 2007 movie draft. Me and a couple of guests, returning guests, are going to be around drafting movies of 2007. So stick around for that. Be sure to listen and subscribe to the Movie Draft Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also now on YouTube with videos, so you can subscribe to us over there. New episodes will be released weekly on Tuesdays. We'll see you then.